What's up, guys? ArtistVersion1 here, and welcome back to another edition of the Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast. And of course, you can't have the three-way dance unless there's three of us. So joining me as always is Shelby, aka Shubs.
Ayo.
There he is. And joining me as always is Karma Chameleon himself, Nick.
You come and go, you come and go. Whoa. Sorry for that poor cover. I'm not in singing mode. I can't sing for shit. I can't even really do karaoke. So, cheers.
And
but
we have a loaded show for you here tonight. Even though we've removed a segment here for you tonight, but of course we got some news here. We're going to talk about. We're going to play our games that we love to play. We're going to take your questions that we got here. And tonight is an episode that I've been planning for quite a while, and I finally had time to do it. Fuck the Fi over Iowa City. Did I say that? Sorry. We are going to talk about the cinematic classic that is Ready to Rumble, starring David Arquette, Oliver Platt, and Scott Conn here. But before we get to that, let's get into some news here. And the first thing I want to talk about is something I found pretty interesting here. And that is our old buddy Matt Cardona, FKA Zack Ryder, actually won the GCW championship from Nick Gage. Did y'all see the video of what happened?
Nope.
I saw the end of the match, like with the light tube and everybody littering Cardona with garbage. I can only assume that the reason why Cardona has the title is so that Nick Gage isn't losing on national television as the GCW World Champion during the labors of Jericho.
Well, I don't.
Because it wouldn't look good. It wouldn't look good for GCW on a national scale if Nick Gage going into AEW as their world champion then lost to a non-world champion, even though it's Jericho.
But I was about to say, but it's Jericho for one. But yeah, I did see where they didn't just throw. This wasn't like WCW. We're like, hey, we're gonna throw some solo cups in there at Hogan while he calls us trash, brother. Oh God, they threw cans, beer bottles, fucking knives. Like Jesus Christ, man! Like
anything that wasn't nailed down was going in there.
Exactly, man. We were one step away from like the Terry Funk chair incident here, man. Because they fucking could not. I mean, I don't know how Cardona's doing it. How he's getting over as a heel so well here. Maybe because he's just beating their hero Nick Gage. I don't know.
And also, kudos to Chelsea Green for taking things well on the internet.
Yeah, because I didn't see that she was taking any heat on the internet for it.
Oh yeah, she's got
apparently she's getting death threats.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But she was or he was, I mean, he was getting swamped with beer bottles and such like that. I thought it was just a pretty interesting thing to do there. All right. The next one here I want to mention, just for our good buddy Shelby. Me and Nick, we talked about this while you were having your phone problems there, or computer problems there, and that was there was an update on the Karrion Kross situation. As we talked about last week, Karrion Kross debuted on Raw and lost to Jeff Hardy in under 2 minutes, and of course that did not sit well with old Shubsy here. It was then found out that Jeff Hardy was diagnosed with COVID. So the proposed feud between Kross and Hardy has been put on hold for the moment. But there's been some interesting news. Shelby, have you heard about this?
I read something today. But,
the news is that this week on Raw, we saw Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross eventually did get the win. But that match was originally supposed to be Jeff Hardy versus Karrion Kross 2, but Jeff Hardy was yet again going to get the win.
Yeah, see, when I saw the post, that's what I assumed it was going to be. And I just...
And apparently the management and writers, they were baffled the first time that he even got the win. They were even more baffled this time.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's one
Guaranteed
thing to
this-
get an upset win once, but then to give him the second win is like, what? I mean, he shouldn't have lost in
It's-
the first place, but
It's
Wow.
so very clear to me that the angle that they wanted to run was that Cross can only win if he has Scarlett in his corner.
That is Jim
and
Cornette's
it's funny.
theory.
Yeah, Jim Cornette said that too, but Nick said it last week before that episode came out.
Mm.
I don't think Corny listens to this, but Corny,
Wow.
if you listen to this podcast, I am not offended that you stole the idea. So
Goddamn son of a bitch! I wouldn't steal your fucking idea. Your ideas are fucking stupid.
it would probably be more of a colorful rant than that.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
face it.
More than likely.
All right. Coming up next year is WWE is returning to the great land that is Saudi Arabia.
Oh my
this
god.
fall. Oh yeah.
God.
They have put on-
Already?
They have put on numerous great shows there, such as Crown Jewel with Undertaker versus Goldberg, and what is it? Super Showdown with DX versus Brothers of Destruction. They're coming back to Saudi Arabia to give us those big money matches.
I
So,
know, like, we usually watch most of the pay-per-views, but can we skip that one? Can we please skip that one? I'll do just about anything if I don't have to watch that shit.
Actually, that ties into the wrestling fact of the week this week.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I honestly think they have not done a good Saudi Arabia show since the Greatest Royal Rumble. I thought the Greatest Royal Rumble show was great. Like no
It
pun
was.
intended.
For what it was, I thought it was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I was just like, hell yeah, do a 50-man Royal Rumble every year, like in Saudi Arabia, since they got this deal going. Do
Wow.
one there every year.
Think of something different for the other ones, I think, because I feel like that would get old really quickly. I mean,
Well,
they already
could-
have a 30-man.
They made a belt for it and everything, so like fuck. I mean, Braun
Wow.
Strowman won it, so like
Yeah.
next year in Saudi Arabia, have another one, and he's in it somewhere, and he defends it, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
all
that'd be
for it.
kind of cool.
Even
actually.
if
Have
even
him come
if
in at
like
number one.
yeah, have him come at number one as the defender of
Yeah.
the belt. And
or
see
use it
how
as
long he
or
goes.
or use it as an advantage. You're the champion, you get to come in at 50.
Yeah,
I suppose, yeah.
that would probably
could
make
work.
it a little bit more interesting, I think, and more likely that guys would actually retain. Otherwise, if everybody came in at number one, I mean, they might take Strowman to 50, but most guys would be losing that belt if they came in at number one.
Yeah. Well, all right. Coming up next year is apparently Blumhouse, the good old Blumhouse people, Productions, who have made some great horror movies here. They have announced a television show who have also made some great TV shows as well. They have announced the United States of America versus Vince McMahon, which will be a detailed account of Vince McMahon's steroid trial. So you guys excited for this?
Isn't Darkseid
Depends on
doing
how
that
they
like
do it.
soon?
Well, that's going to
Yeah.
be a documentary. This is going to be like,
Oh, okay, I got you. It's like
Yeah.
a biopic.
yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
No network or premiere date has been announced yet, but I'm down to watch this.
I'll be very interested to see who they get to portray Vince
Yeah.
and Hogan.
Oh,
And Warrior.
man, they
Nick,
should have Bruce Pritchard portray Vince.
and Nick Cage.
Is Bruce Pritchard? Can Bruce Pritchard? Like, I mean, Shane McMahon could be good as Vince.
Well, goddamn, pal.
Yeah, he can do a
What,
great
Shane
Vince
McMahon is
impression,
Vince?
true.
No, Bruce Pritchard. He's got the voice
Oh.
down.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but he's a little bit chubby.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
don't know.
mean,
I'm
Shane
excited.
could be a good
If
Vince.
the show actually happens, because I think this is like the third Vince McMahon project they've announced.
Mhm.
Yeah.
First it was Pandemonium, which was the biopic movie. And then I think Netflix announced one that I think that's all I heard is that Netflix is going to do something. And then that's all I heard. And then now there's this one. So if this one actually gets made, but Blumhouse is pretty popular for getting stuff made.
Wasn't
Except
Vince
for
Vaughn
Happy
once
Death Day
attached?
3, but
Oh yeah, wasn't Vince Vaughn once attached to a Vince McMahon movie project? Or was he attached to a Benoit one?
No, that was Liv Schreiber, who was attached to the Benoit one crossface.
No, I knew that. I knew that Liv Schreiber was set to play Benoit in crossface, but I wasn't sure because I thought I remembered reading something about Vince Vaughn set for one of them. I don't know.
Maybe the Vince Vaughn one was Fighting with My Family.
Oh well, yeah.
All right, let's address the so-called elephant in the room. Ever since last week, rumors have been running rampart all over the fucking internet that CM Punk has signed with AEW. Agree or disagree?
Okay, what are we agreeing and disagreeing on?
Do you believe, I should say, believe or
Yes.
disbelieve would be a better word then. Do you believe that he's actually signed with AEW?
I think, just as you and I both said earlier this week, I'll believe it when I see it.
When All Out is in Chicago, if I don't hear Cult of Personality at some point, I won't be shocked. If I do, I might mark, but I won't be shocked. I think it's far more of an accurate report that Brian has signed with AEW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, and I mean, and as far as people saying, well, Living Color is following AEW on Instagram and Twitter, yeah, well, they could be fans of the brand.
And that's funny that you mentioned that because I saw an article earlier. They're like, CM Punk is now following AEW on Twitter. I'm just like, y'all realize he's doing that to troll you.
Yeah,
fuckers, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
either
is
way.
CM Punk. Like,
yeah.
I think we'll definitely, or I think we definitely have a chance rather of hearing the final countdown at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City when Brian debuts, but I don't know about Punk. I wouldn't hold out hope.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't hold your breath. If it happens, cool. Good for us. You know, we'll see. We'll get to see him again. But people are just like, oh yeah, he's gonna show up soon. Definitely, he's gonna show up soon. I'm just like, okay, you dream those dreamy dreams there, buddy.
Yeah. They said the same time. Same thing. They went to Chicago for the first time. Like, it's just been.
I said before that when they went to Chicago the first time, I always said before, I'm like, if they were dumb enough if they were to have CM Punk the first time, and they're just like, yeah, we have CM Punk, they would have been stupid to debut him at that pay-per-view. Do you know why? Because then they had the TV deal. Put him on the first episode of the TV show. Then people be like, holy shit, they got Punk. Then they tune in next week, and they're like, boom, ratings. They've been stupid to put him on that pay-per-view.
Yeah, I disagree. Yeah. People be watching.
Look, your opinion is wrong. Look at your autograph.
People be tuning into that fucking show just to watch Punk on the first episode. It wouldn't matter whether you debuted him before or after. I think he debuted in Chicago, but I also think that they should have probably just, if they weren't going to sign him, they should have just asked, okay, how much money is it going to be for just an appearance type thing? But
yeah. Overall, though, I think that people should not get their hopes up for Punk at All Out, just so you can be super excited for Brian and Arthur Ashe.
I don't think they should get their hopes up at all.
Well,
yeah.
I think I've said right from when they ran the angle with Brian being kicked off of SmackDown versus Reigns, I have said that it's a Jon Moxley situation and that Brian is going to sign and we're going to have no idea that he's there until he debuts. And now we've got this news.
I think AEW has a better shot at signing Lesnar than they do Punk.
Oof.
Ooh, that's a bit of a stretch.
Just for the fact that he still wrestles, like
little Tony has the Bucks. I think he could throw enough money at Lesnar to make him be like, okay, because Lesnar don't give a fuck. Lesnar likes money.
Little Tony has the Bucks, but I don't think for story purpose and for the fact that there isn't an opponent in AEW that really could be built up enough to be taken at a serious level for Brock upon his arrival. I really don't think Little Tony is willing to spend the amount of money it would take to bring Brock in just yet. I really don't
saying, he has the money.
Even though Tony Khan is a mark, I really don't think he would drop that much money on Brock Lesnar just to bring Brock Lesnar in. I really don't.
My point is that
He's
he
not
has
that
the money. My point is that he has the money, and Lesnar don't give a fuck. It ain't gonna be like, well, I'm loyal to WWE.
Here's like the other problem with that though is like Lesnar's not a week to week guy. He is not going to sign a contract where he has to show up at every fucking single show. He is going to sign a contract that says that he shows up to 4 or 5 shows a year and that he has 100% control over what he does. He's going to go in there and just crush all like the fucking AEW favorites anyway. So they all just fucking turn on it. That's all it would be.
Like, when we would get a 9-on-1 match, the Dark Order versus Brock Lesnar, and the match is done in 2 minutes because Brock ate half of them, I just don't think that it's... I just don't think it's a logical choice for Tony Khan to blow that money. I just really don't.
Y'all are missing my point. My point is that Brock Lesnar is not loyal. He likes money, and that Khan has the money to do it. That was the whole point I was trying to make.
I suppose, yeah.
I just think that, people who are like, oh, yeah, Punk's coming back soon. I'm like, okay. If he comes back, that's good, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to some, in my opinion, sad news here. And that is apparently there was a big return of a wrestler planned in September. Have y'all heard about this?
No.
Apparently, the Velveteen Dream booked a return in September, but apparently there was outcry from people. And even the booker of this promotion, I forgot the promotion, but it was some indie promotion, even he went on record and said, like, listen, I believe people say shit just to slander people, but after further review, I can no longer book Velveteen Dream for this show. So it was within a couple hours that he announced that he was booked and then removed.
Well,
is this all based on the allegations again?
Yep.
Yes, because unfortunately, snowflakes overturn the rule of innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
You hear that, snowflakes? Shut the fuck up and let the man have his career.
Yeah.
We're not talking to you, our loyal listeners.
Yeah. unless you believe this shit about Velveteen Dream, then hey, go listen to fucking Cornette and Something to Wrestle With. Go listen to them. I don't give a shit.
And don't forget to support our sponsors.
Yeah, support our sponsors. Which we have a new sponsor tonight that we'll talk about.
Ooh.
All right, and WWE is planning a new tournament in October, it looks like, and that is something groundbreaking, something never done before, the Queen of the Ring.
If this doesn't involve having to beat Charlotte or Charlotte winning, then it's all for nothing.
If Charlotte, listen, I love Charlotte as much as the next person, okay? If she wins this fucking tournament, I will flip shit.
But why couldn't they have just brought the Mae Young Classic on the main roster and let it be wide open? And it with a damn pay-per-view, do a 64-woman tournament. Idiots.
Yeah.
Well, who's to say that this won't have a large number of women? I mean, yeah, WWE.
They're planning it for an edition of Raw and an edition of SmackDown. So it's literally going to be 2 nights with the finals at a pay-per-view. Oh. It's going to be an 8-woman tournament by the looks of things, which is just shit.
As long as they don't go to King Corbin route. So, like, for instance, if some reason or another Dana Brooke were to somehow win the tournament, as long as she doesn't become Queen Dana Brooke and runs with like the royalty gimmick, I'm good.
I guarantee you, if Charlotte doesn't win, that's the route they're gonna go.
Wait, what if though? What if Doudrop wins, but it's Queen Eva Marie?
No.
I could go with Queen Doudrop.
No,
like Doudrop is actually so Queen tired. And Eva pretends she is.
Ever since Booker T won the fucking King of the Ring and became King Booker, that fucking stupid gimmick. Don't even get me started.
Oh, King
I
Booker was good.
love King Booker.
Fuck you both.
And King
all right? Your
Booker's
opinions were
court,
wrong.
William Regal. All hail King Booker, and says it 9 times for no reason. Like, that was wonderful.
Ever since that tournament where they started, like, whoever won the fucking tournament became an actual fucking king. Like,
Yeah,
I got
but-
tired of that fucking gimmick. That's why I'm just
Yeah.
like, whoever wins this Queen of the Ring, like, I don't care if it's fucking Liv Morgan, okay? They better not become Queen Liv Morgan, where they're like, I am now a queen. You will address me as sire. You know, no, fuck that. If they do that, I'm going to be pissed.
That's what's gonna
Queen
happen.
Lily.
That's exactly Queen Lily.
And finally, here in the news cycle here, we have a little bit of sad news here. We lost another real one, guys.
Oh,
Wait.
Yep.
Is this the one I think it is?
Yep, we lost Super Porky, guys.
Oh.
Wait.
I was actually really sad
Triple
when I
A.
read that, man.
AAA,
CMLL.
CMLL superstar, and actually former WWE superstar for about a year
I was gonna say.
in the ill-fated WWE Juniors division. Super
God,
Porky.
that was terrible.
Super Porky died at the age of 56 there. Apparently, I had no idea his son was Lucha superstar Psycho Clown. I had no idea that was a son.
I had no idea either, and that's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
how about an ass blaster of a fact there?
yeah, so I'm going to pull a Stug 138 here and be like, top 3 Super Porky matches, go.
I can't name any. The only
Did you
thing
see
I
what he
really...
did this week?
Who, Super Porky? Yeah, he died.
No, fucking Stug.
No.
Instead of a top 3, it's a top 4.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
I was like, I should have thought that through a little bit harder.
All right, so that was the news for this week, and we're going to get into our games that we like to play. It came from eBay and the 3-word dance, but before we get into that, we got to talk about one of our newest sponsors here on the 3-way dance, and that is Movies R, that's the letter R, moviesrusa.net. Let me ask you two something. Do you guys used to watch that show Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that game show, man.
Long.
Yeah, you ever dream about being like a purple parrot or a fucking silver snake and running through the temple and shrine of the silver monkey?
See, I
Every day.
but I forgot that's what that was from.
Yeah. Well, like it was a great game show from the Nickelodeons, the Nickelodeon era. Well, now at moviesrusa.net, this is one of many movies and TV shows that you can get on Blu-ray. That's right. On Blu-ray for a great price. And guess what? If you go over to moviesrusa.net and you look at that price and you're like, that's just not a great enough price for me. They gave us a coupon code, and guess what? This coupon code ain't all about me. It's about all 3 of us. If you use coupon code 3-way,
Whoa.
I know, coupon code 3-way, you are going to save not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40, not 45, but 50% off your purchase.
Whoa.
50%.
50%.
This is
off
my
your
favorite advertisement.
You know,
ever.
that is so much more of a deal than going to the movie theaters that are opening up wide open across North America.
Exactly.
It'll allow you to even have dinner, a 5-course meal in your home, and watch it from the comfort of your own home.
Exactly. Do you have Disney Plus and you don't want to pay the $7 subscription fee for Disney Plus and you don't want to pay an extra $30 on top to watch the new Cruella movie? Screw that. Go to moviesr.usa.net. They already have that bad boy on Blu-ray. Use my checkout code. Use our checkout code 3-way. Save 50% off of that and watch it at home on Blu-ray because physical media is dying. All right. And this site right here is preserving that. Physical media, Blu-ray, has hundreds of pages, hundreds of pages of shows and movies to choose from. I believe the last time I saw the website, there was 177 pages of movies and TV shows to choose from. Legends of the Hidden Temple was just added. They have Netflix originals, movies, obscure TV movies, stuff you probably never even heard of. So head on over to moviesarusa.net. They're going to be in the description down below. Use our checkout code 3-way and save 50% off. That is 50. That is more than both of our other sponsors in this show combined. Okay.
If you're still having to deal with quarantine and pandemic restriction and you just are having a hard time with your bills, Movies Are USA, 50% off and kick those bills in the ass.
Perfect. All right. So
hold on. I got a question about that, though.
What's up?
Do they cook the meal for you?
God, I hate you.
What?
You said that you get a 5-star meal with your movie.
No, but you could eat. You could cook a 5-star meal at home, man.
You gotta
Come on
cook
now.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
You don't have to worry about going out after you cook dinner. You can, if you're having a date, you can bring her over, or him, or them over.
And this is
Make
the
a
last.
big
And this is the
fancy
last.
ass meal.
And this is the last episode we'll ever sponsor.
Ow.
Oh, ruined it. All right. Okay, let's get into our one of our favorite games we like to play here, and that is It Came from eBay. And right now, the score is tied at 9-9. So this one right here is gonna put one of you guys in the lead here. Let's see if Shelby can actually take the lead here.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to go with, let's see, let me look at my comments here. Okay, let's go with this. This is a WWF Hulk Hogan Hulk Rules. It's a yellow ruler that says Hulk Rules. It's a ruler. All it is. Simple
perfect.
ruler. One you take to school, all right? And it just says Hulk Rules. The numbers are red. The whole ruler is yellow. So, Shelby, how much is the WWF Hulk Hogan Hulk Rules ruler going for on eBay?
$20.
$20. Shelby, or Nick, how much is this going for on eBay?
$29.99.
Ooh, 1 cent off there, Nick. It is actually going for $30.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All right.
Feel it slipping.
That's okay. All right, let's go with this one. This is a 1996 WCW Bash at the Beach Shark can koozie. Okay. Are we familiar with what a can koozie is?
Yes.
So it's a can koozie, but like you put the drink into the shark's mouth, and then it's like a can koozie, but the shark is like eating your can.
Right? It says Bash at the Beach.
And it says WCW Bash at the Beach, and this is from the 1996 edition of Bash at the Beach. So, Nick.
That's the third man one, right?
I believe so, yeah. So, Nick, how much is the 1996 Bash at the Beach shark-shaped can koozie going for on eBay?
$120.76.
Okay, that's
that's how much I would pay for it.
All right. Shelby, how much is this going for on eBay?
$100.
All right, we got ourselves a tie game.
Hell yeah.
At that price, Nick, you could get two of them because it's only going for $55.
Oh, hell.
55.
They don't have two, I bet.
All right, now it comes down to our ass blaster item.
How fitting.
All right, now it's just a question of. All right, I gave Nick a choice last week, so I'll give you the same choice here, Shelby. Do you want it to be a Hulk Hogan item, a Rock item, or a Jeff Hardy item?
Fuck it, Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy item it is. Now, there's a little bit of history with this item. WWE now releases figures through Mattel. Okay, I'm sure we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
They release what they call basic figures and elite figures. Well, in the first series of elite figures, there was one figure that kind of leaked out, but they also had to recall because this wrestler was released, and that wrestler, of course, being Jeff Hardy. Some of these elite Jeff Hardys were released before being recalled. So they go for a decent amount of money. So Shelby, how much is a Mattel Elite Series 1 Jeff Hardy sealed in the box going for on eBay?
2,500.
2,500. All right. And Nick, how much is the Elite Jeff Hardy going for on eBay? For the game. He feels the pressure right now. He's got one foot in the frying pan and one in the pressure cooker.
What? Those are both hot.
That sounds really, really dangerous. My fuck. Wow. It's got to be more than that. 10,000.
Nick, you are over by a penny. It is $9,999.99. And with that,
Jeez.
Nick takes the lead, 10-9.
Who's the man?
That's all right. Hey, Shelby, you're still in this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know. I got caught up from being like 6 behind.
Yeah, there you go.
I will say that come from behind was quite nice.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the seat.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's on to the other favorite game we have here, and that is the 3-word dance, where I name 3 random words that associate with a wrestler, and it's up to Nick and or Shelby to decide which wrestler it is that I'm thinking of. It is a free-for-all. We don't go in turns here, but we do 3 of them here. So now it's up to me to figure out which one I want to do. Okay. All right. We'll do this one first. All right. Your first one for the 3-word dance. And the scores for this one is, I should get that. Nick has 6 points. Shelby has 2, and no contest has 7.
No contest winning still.
No contest to win. All right. So your first one is Trinity, Trace, Cup.
Trace spelled Trace.
Trace as in Spanish for 3.
Okay.
Trinity, Trace, and Cup.
Psychosis?
No.
I was going for a lucha thing there, which is like the lucha cup and like sort of shit. I don't know.
And I'll give you a hint for this one right off the bat. The Spanish has really nothing to do with it.
Son of a bitch.
Like me using the language has nothing to do with the person. If that makes sense.
Then why wouldn't you just say 3?
Cup.
Trinity, Trace, Cup.
Shane Helms.
Nope, not Shane Helms.
Shannon Moore.
Not Shannon Moore.
It wouldn't be Shannon Moore if it wasn't Shane Helms, man, because I was about to say Shannon Moore. Well, I'm not going to say I'm courageous because that won't work either. So, shit. All right. So all of the members of 3 Count aren't the answer. Good. Lance Archer?
Nope, not Lance Archer. Trinity, Trace, Cup.
Adam Page.
No. I had to think for a second. I'm like, what's your logic? But this is another one that, like, once I explain it, you're gonna be like, you fucker.
That was like the Maven one, which still pisses me off.
Does no contest get another point, or Trace, Trinity, Cup? All right, I'm hearing cricket, so no contest. All right.
Yeah.
Trinity, Trace, Cup, EC3.
I hate you.
Oh, that's why you said Trace.
Trinity, because Trinity has been known to be 3. Trace, 3. Cup, because during his run in WWE, he was carrying around a solo cup a lot.
I just got a picture that I got a mental image of that picture with him holding the cup, just looking so depressed.
Yeah.
Cheers. During the Thanksgiving fight.
Yep.
The Thanksgiving food fight. Here's EC3 just like, I'm actually fucking hammered right now on national television.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
All right. Here's a good one. Now, so this one's going to be very vague, but all right. Champion, Cage, Swerve.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
I want you
Wow.
guys to really sit here and think on our podcast.
Vince Russo.
No.
David Arquette.
There you go, Shelby.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
David Arquette.
You know what I got? You know what I was going for with Russo, right? Like,
Yeah, the Cage,
well,
champion.
Champion,
Yeah.
Swerve.
I got your
Fucking
idea on that one.
Russo. All right, cool.
All right, and the last one here for the 3-word dance. So again, we're at 1 for no contest, 1 for Shelby. So Nick, this one might be yours to get.
Cool.
All right. Bull. Australia. Beach.
Just gonna get it out of the way. Billy Kay.
No.
Peyton Royce.
No.
Okay.
And I'll save you some time. Not Rhea Ripley either.
Oh, I didn't even think of her.
Oh, okay.
She's from Australia?
Yeah, I kind of forget
it
that, to
Murphy?
be honest.
Nope, not Murphy. Bull.
Not what?
Australia. Beach.
Yeah, I said Murphy because he is Australian too, I think.
So y'all are focusing
No,
on
maybe
the,
that's.
y'all are focusing
Maybe I'm
on the
thinking of
Australia.
Shane Thorne.
Y'all are focusing on the Australia when y'all should focus on the other words too.
Oh, fuck. Well, when I hear bowl, I think of cereal or a green substance that is not legal in certain countries. And beach, well, I mean, it's summertime, man, so fuck. But then also WCW.
You're getting there.
Oh, but wait, though.
Need a hint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Earthworm.
I think that just confused me more.
Once I explain it, you'll know it.
John Tenta?
No.
I can't even explain that one. That was just a random
I was
guess.
trying to think of that myself. I'm like, huh? Bull, Australia.
Sorry, it's Bull, not Bull?
Bull, B-U-L-L.
Oh, I thought it was Bull.
That completely changes things.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on a minute.
I don't know
here.
if that really helps, but it does.
Well, that
Yeah,
might
sorry.
go. That might.
That's all right.
go.
That's all right.
B-U-L-L, bull, as in the animal. Australia. Beach. And your clue
John
is
Cena. John Cena.
What?
Ferdinand the Bull. Okay. I can't justify the rest of that. I really can't.
There's no contest. Go up another point, or
I think so.
Nick?
Bull Buchanan?
No. Why would I put the clue in the answer?
I don't know, because it's such an obscure wrestler.
No contest. All right. Bull, Australia, beach. If I would have just said worm instead of earthworm, would have helped?
No. Scotty?
Really? Bull. Chicago Bulls, maybe?
Okay.
Oh, come on, Dennis Rodman, really?
Yep, Dennis Rodman.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
Chicago Bull, Dennis Rodman. Australia, he has a DVD out called Rodman Down Under in Australia. Bash at the Beach, of course. He main evented 2 Bash at the Beach. And Earthworm, or his nickname, The Worm.
You know, I've really been considering buying the Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen pops lately. Because they're both in the Bulls uniforms. I'm like, oh. But I gotta make sure I can find a Michael Jordan too before I do it. That's reasonably priced. So I'm like,
All right, now it's time to talk about the movie Ready to Rumble. But of course, we got to pay one more bill here, and that is to talk about repsports.com, which offers a variety of tasty products here. They offer the pre-workout powder, such as Broken Arrow, that comes in many different flavors, such as sour gummy worm, and the new limited edition flavor, Rainbow. It is in a new
rainbow.
Fucking rainbow. That's right. It is a pre-workout form. Plus, if you want the liquid form, there is also Ray's energy drink, which you can also get rainbow in that for a limited time, which once it's gone, it's gone. That's it. Plus, there are also many other great flavors to choose from. Sour gummy worm, Apollo, Voodoo, which is my personal favorite, Voodoo. There's also grape bubblegum, mango guava, strawberry colada, South Beach, Baja Lime. They got anything you can take a stick at. Plus, they got Shelby's favorite flavor,
Galaxy Burst.
Galaxy Burst as well.
that
and
sounded erotic.
It was.
And damn, we've lost 2 sponsors this show. Plus, after you have all that energy inside of you and everything, you can come down from all that energy with their other product, Hyper Sleep, another powder that you can mix in, get you down for a nice good night's sleep and everything like that. You can find all these products on repsports.com, and you can head on over there and use the checkout code ARTIST, ARTIST, and save 15% on your entire purchase. And if you just want some cool t-shirts, hats, shorts, hoodies, you can head on over there and get that as well. You can find all these products, including Shelby's favorite drink,
Galaxy Burst,
over on repsports.com. And if you don't want to take our word for it, look in the description of this podcast, and you can get yourself a free 4-pack, 4 cans of Ray's energy drink that will include sour gummy worm, Voodoo, strawberry colada, and of course,
Galaxy Burst.
As part of your 4-pack. All we ask is that you cover the shipping for it. Use my checkout code ARTIST to get it 100% free. Just pay for shipping. All of this and more at repsports.com. All right, so it is time.
So Mr. Artist, we were listening to your podcast last week, and it's very sexual.
That's not my fault. Oh, just get rid of that guy and then you're good. Oh, okay, good. All right. All right. It is now talk about Ready to Rumble, the movie from 2000, I believe. 2000, 2001?
Yes.
No, 2000.
2000.
2000. That stars, of course, David Arquette, the former WCW heavyweight champion of the world that he won while promoting this movie. James Caan's son, Scott Caan, and, of course, Oliver Platt, and amongst the many other WCW superstars that we'll get into here. So, I have a very lengthy plot written down here. I seriously have 9.5 pages written down here, so I'm going to go through this practically almost scene by scene here. So we'll stop and talk about it when we do. So I'll go ahead and get right into it here. So here we go. The movie starts out with various old school wrestling clips while Sean, played by Scott Caan, talks about the history of wrestlers, and then we transition to the setting of Lusk, Wyoming, where Sean introduces Jimmy King, the undefeated world champion, and mentions that he and his friend Gordy, played by David Arquette, will be in Cheyenne, Wyoming, to see WCW Nitro to see Jimmy King versus Diamond Dallas Page. We also see gas station attendant, that is literally his credited name, gas station attendant, played by the very underrated, in my opinion, Ahmed Zappa. Makes fun of Sean and Gordy for liking wrestling. And then we cut to Gordy's daydream. I like how Ahmed Zappa is like, his comeback is like wrestling is for retards. You know? And one thing I want, they say that Jimmy King, and I'll probably mention it later too, but Jimmy King is undefeated, and in this world, he's undefeated for 14 years.
Yeah. So this guy, well, you know what? We'll get to it once we get to a little bit later, but 14 years, yeah. He should have a ton of money right now if he's been undefeated for 14 years. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so that would have put him undefeated since 1986. So
he's basically more over
transition.
than Ric Flair, fucking Hulk Hogan, John Cena,
Bruno
The Rock.
Sammartino.
They do,
Not,
but
well, yeah,
that,
even
that
Bruno.
That is a line that Sean references. He says Jimmy King is immortal and he is the people's champion.
He does call him the people's champion. I do remember that.
He calls him immortal too. So he's basically more over than Hogan and The Rock in this world. I'm telling you, I've seen this movie more times than any human being ever should.
Yeah.
So now we cut to Gordy's daydream here. Gordy enters the Stop and Shop during the dream sequence and confronts the gas station attendant and asks for a purple sugar slush, king size, which, fun fact, it's known as the Royal Slush. Attendant gives Gordy a hard time, keeps calling him a boob, which, like, that's what sent him over the edge, a boob. Finally gives him the purple sugar slush and tells him it's $1.26. Gordy only has $1.25. Attendant then berates Gordy until Gordy drags him over the counter for a suplex. The attendant then tags in his partner all of a sudden, because all of a sudden it's a tag team match. It's a daydream, so you can't really, say anything.
Yeah.
He tags in his tag team partner with a cameo of Macho Man Randy Savage in one of his, believe it or not, one of his final WCW-related appearances.
Yeah.
Did I see Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth on a poster behind the counter too?
You did not. You saw Randy Savage and Gorgeous George in a Slim Jim.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Young counter, yes. Jimmy King. Oh no, I'm sorry. Jimmy King then rescues Gordy by punching out Savage, oblivious of the outline of the floor and the ring on the mat. Did anybody ever notice that? Where you can obviously see where the ring and the floor separate.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I've seen this a lot.
Yeah.
Gordy then slams his head through the glass, which, fun fact, Candy Glass, David Arquette actually did do that spot, or did do that stunt, which, anybody know who David Arquette's stunt double was in this movie?
No.
Shane Helms.
Oh, really?
Shane
I was
Helms
going to say, yeah.
Anybody know who Oliver Platt's stunt double was?
No.
Chris Kane.
Yeah.
Chris Kane. Gordy slams his head through the glass to psych himself up. King and Gordy then hit Savage and the attendant with the crown to win as the Nitro Girls appear in the daydream. Where did I say? Okay. Gordy then proceeds to screw with the attendant for real until Gordy's dad shows up. This is where Sean realizes he wanted some of the slushy, so Gordy's gonna go in there and get him a free slushy. Sticks his finger in his ass.
Yep, he does.
What do you have to say, Shelby?
let's see here. What did I put for this moment? Oh yeah, ha 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 ha. Butts are funny. All right, moving on.
Which, fun fact, inside the cup was actually Limburger cheese that he was using to fool with Ahmed Zappa.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Nick, anything to add?
Yeah, I love the Macho Man appearance. Very early, but
Okay.
very nice. Ooh,
All right.
Yeah.
Gordy's dad then begins to harass. Gordy's dad, who is a cop, I should say, then begins to harass Sean for simply being a wrestling fan and does the same to his own son. When he exits the store, Gordy's dad is ashamed of his son for liking wrestling, pressures him to become a cop. And then we get played off with Litz, my own worst enemy, playing. I always love the fucking when the cop grabs fucking Scott Can's nuts and he's just like, "Whoa, what's this?" He's like, "Those are my nuts." Like, you want to be on the other side of this? You want me to grab your nuts? Like, I've always loved that. That part always cracks me up and shit.
Yeah,
right.
see, that was one of the first parts that really cracked me up.
Yeah, you want me to grab your nuts? And then we have the famous one of the famous lines in the movie to wrestling fans, and that is Gordy's David Arquette's Gordy screaming, "Wrestling's not fake. I like wrestling." And then again, Gordy's dad berates him some more. You know, wrestling. What is it? Wrestling is for little boys. There it is.
Huh?
All right. We then cut to Sean and Gordy's day job of cleaning porta potties, which, if you look at the original trailer for this movie, it is actually a little bit longer. There's actually like a tiny little snippet that's longer. Sean, knowing that Gordy is going to suck him in while shitting, threatens Jimmy King will lose the match to Diamond Dallas Page at Nitro if he does so. Also, we meet two throwaway characters, which are pretty funny, which they come out of the porta potty, and they're just like, hey, shit boys, how's the shit work going?
Huh? Yes.
Fucking great. I love them.
I love it. Shit, boys.
And they actually come back later for like a pretty funny scene. And originally there was supposed to be a clown in this scene. Not much is known about the scene. Apparently there was supposed to be a clown watching them wrestle. And yeah, apparently it didn't work. And David Arquette apparently tried to actually, I'm sorry, not David Arquette. That was in the first scene. I'm sorry. In the first scene where David Arquette does a suplex, he actually tried that suplex himself, but he broke his thumb or dislocated his thumb. This scene, Sean, Scott Can, despite what IMDb says, it says Scott Can did all of his own stunts for the movie. That is not true. A gentleman named Johnny C. did his stunts for the movie. Shelby, anything?
No.
Okay. All right, we cut to Easy Taco Burger, where we find out Sean has ruined dates with Brittany by talking about wrestling. Boy, haven't we been there. Also, Gordy tries embarrassing Sean, which, oh God, I love that fucking line. Like, he'll have the Brittany's bare ass buffet. Pour me on the red hot special.
That did make me laugh. I did like that line.
What did he say? Nothing.
He said he wanted the Brittany's pop. Did you just say we're pulling around now? Also, Wendy, the other lady working with Brittany, who is obviously in love with Sean and wrestling, and Sean disregards her. Sean pleads for another date with Brittany and gets rejected. Again, this was another scene that in the trailer was just a little bit longer. Like after the fries are thrown in through the window, David Arquette looks at Sean and says, "Dude, you're in there." But they cut that out. I always thought that was pretty funny. All right. Cut to Sean and Gordy discussing the girls while ass juice flows between them while eating, which I always just like, okay. And they mentioned that Gordy mentions that Wendy is totally into Sean and everything, but apparently being one of the guys is a little gay. You know?
She's 5'5" tops, and she's making fuck me eyes at him. And apparently she's too much of a guy. What?
Hey, it gets rectified later. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sean shows Gordy a leather bracelet with WWKD, which he believes to be as wicked, but it turns out to be what would King do, because they love Jimmy King that much.
Wow,
Gordy,
this guy's over.
Gordy, depressed, Sean then reveals that he made Gordy one too. Then we get cut to the old lady who wants a really tight t-shirt from Nitro that night. I always like that.
Oh, wait, hang on. I do have a note for this spot here. Hang on. Because there was a... Oh, wait, what did she say that time?
She was like, her exact line is, do you think Jimmy King is going to beat Diamond Dallas Page? She's like, oh, yeah, Jimmy's going to bitch slap Diamond Dallas. And then she's like, oh, would you get me a t-shirt? A really tight one?
Oh, yeah.
That's gross, Miss McKenzie.
The good one comes later.
Oh, yeah.
When she's watching this show.
Yeah. Take it like the punk bitch you are.
Or smack him around like a toothless crack whore.
All right. We are then introduced to Gordy's family, who are all cops, who all take their job very seriously and always stay in uniform and apparently threaten their own son at gunpoint.
I did like his dad so much in this.
Yeah.
His dad's great.
The dad does kind of grow on you. The dad does grow on you. I will admit that.
Yeah,
Whose dad points a gun on them when they walk into the kitchen twice.
All three of them. All three of them pointed a gun at him just for walking in.
Oh my god.
I found it very interesting that in a movie where after David Arquette played a cop in Scream, he's in a family of cops, but he doesn't want to play a cop. I fixated on that for a good portion of the movie. Like, whoa, how did I never notice that before?
He's like, whoa. Nick just watched through
Bizarre.
like, whoa, he was a cop. Now he's in a family cop and don't want to be a cop. Hey, what's happening in the movie? Oh, the credits are on. Oh. Speaking of credits, director of this, anybody know the director?
No.
Brian Robbins of All That and Nickelodeon fame.
Sounds about right.
Yep. All right, then we cut to Gordy and Sean at WCW Nitro. We find out they have the worst seats in the house as they watch Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio take on Juventud Guerrera and Prince Iaukea. They then have a discussion. Oh, and which fun fact about this, Rey Mysterio actually suffered a knee injury while filming that match.
Yep, and you can see where he kind of like tweaks it.
Mm-hmm. They then have a discussion about Uncle Billy, who gave him the tickets, about his left nut, before deciding to just move to the front row, which I didn't know you could just do that at shows.
Oh yeah, man.
If you have only one nut, is it still your left nut?
Uncle Billy lost his left nut in Nam. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. If you just have one left, is it still your left nut? I mean, whatever. Come on. They stop on the way, moving the seats to see the Nitro girls, as well as Gordy's favorite Sasha, played by Rose McGowan. She's Sasha.
Is this when they started playing Girls, Girls, Girls?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So I tried to write down as many Motley Crue songs as I could while that was playing, just because I watched the Dirt on the weekend, and when they started playing Girls, 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 the first one I got was She Got the Looks That Kill. But anyways, yeah.
Y'all had different agendas while watching this movie, apparently. Nick is just like, whoa, he was a cop and now he's not a cop and he doesn't want to be. And you're just like a Motley Crue song. All right, go. You treat it as like some game that nobody told you to play.
Well, I knew this was a filler scene, so it didn't really matter that much.
We find out that Sasha is Gordy's favorite Nitro girl, and she's the best of the best. Okay. All right. Then we cut backstage and we meet Titus Sinclair, the president of WCW. Which anybody know? Anybody know who was originally supposed to play Titus Sinclair?
Is it Vince Russo?
Nope.
Oh,
Eric
okay.
Bischoff was originally supposed to play Titus Sinclair, but he was removed from his position in the company while development in the movie. So they created Titus Sinclair as
You know,
a
Yeah.
as a
I found it interesting that they were in Cody, Wyoming, due to Bischoff. I was wondering if maybe he had some part in this, but I wasn't sure.
That's funny
Yeah.
that you mentioned that because I have that written down here. If I can find it again. Sasha later on mentions that she grew up in Cody, Wyoming, and Eric
Yeah.
Bischoff at the time of the development in this movie had a home in Cody, Wyoming.
And he's lived in
Yeah.
Cody for like most of his adult life. I mean,
Yeah.
he moved to Stanford, I think, for the little bit that he was producer on SmackDown, and then I think he moved right back to fucking Cody after he quit that job.
Mm-hmm.
But when St. Clair came out, I wrote down, and the part of Vince Russo played by an old balding man.
Played by Joe Pantoliano from
I
the
hate
Goonies.
that bastard.
Which one, Russo?
Pantoliano. I've never liked Joe Pantoliano. Never.
Titus Sinclair says hi to Booker T, then finds Goldberg and DDP. Titus tells DDP the finish of DDP versus King, but then tells DDP that he will take care of him tonight. Tonight's his
Why
night.
was he giving him the finish in front of Goldberg? Goldberg had nothing to do with the finish.
I guess to make it seem
that he was hiding something, I guess.
To make it seem like he wasn't hiding something. That's why he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Dallas, let me talk to you over here," and then that's when he's like, "I'm going to take care of you tonight."
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we cut to Mean Gene Okerlund introducing the main event of Nitro. Enter Jimmy King, played by Oliver Platt, who enters the ring and then recites a lyric of a Run DMC song because, he's been popular for 14 years. So that fucking line probably never got old in 14 years.
That's
Yeah.
The match starts and we see some of the inner workings of match calling. And Paige then begins to start a screw job on King. Various WCW wrestlers appear, such as Sid Vicious, Perry Saturn, Prince Iakea again, Juventud Guerrero again, Van Hammer, which that was a weird one, Kurt Hennig.
I thought that was Van Hammer. Like,
yeah,
I watched it a lot, but I was like, Van Hammer.
Yep. Kurt Hennig, Conan, and Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Bigelow. They all attack Jimmy King, and they get the title off him, which I think Titus. Oh, did anybody ever notice the table blooper?
No, I saw the table, but
there's the blooper where DDP is gonna slingshot Jimmy King over the top rope into the table. If you look at the table in one shot, it's like empty. There's nothing on it, and then like when he slingshots him over, it's like covered with shit.
Oh,
I was gonna say, like, when I was watching today, and I hadn't noticed it before today. I'm watching, and I see, like, the table shot, like the table spot, and I'm like, that table didn't have anything on it before.
Nope.
Did they say at the beginning of that match that it was going to be no disqualifications?
Nope.
So there was, the table spot I'll forgive because he threw him over the top rope.
Yeah.
The chair shot should have been a fucking DQ, and Jimmy King should have retained. And
but
then
Titus
my
Sinclair,
logic is that
Titus Sinclair was standing at ringside.
But they still didn't say it was no DQ.
But he could have stopped him from ringing the bell. They screwed him over.
They didn't show that, though. They should have showed that.
I get your point, but I also get
you have to remember, too, it was WCW in 2000 known for their dusty finishes that didn't make sense. So, there is some kind of structure you can put with it where it can make some semblance of sense. But they still should have mentioned it.
After the beatdown and DDP wins the world title from Jimmy King, Joe Pantoliano or Titus Sinclair with a great quote unquote villain speech. I always love that where Jimmy King's like, why? He's like, why? Why not? You're through. I'm done with you. I always fucking love that part. All right. Cut to Gordy and Sean driving home, upset about the outcome of the match. Sean wrecks his truck, crying over the match, like legitimately crying. Afterwards, after they clean up their truck full of ass juice, which, fun fact, the ass juice that is thrown on them later, actually hot cocoa. They decide. What was that?
That would hurt.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was cooled down.
Oh, I'm sure, but you know, still.
After Sean's truck gets towed away, they decide to go find Jimmy King so he can get the WCW title back. Gordy and Sean hitch a ride with nuns and sing "Running with the Devil."
That one nun was giving the weirdest, like, I'm gonna kill you stare. Jesus Christ, I couldn't stop looking at that.
Every time I hear "Running with the Devil," including when I saw Van Halen live, I think of that scene.
I love when he's like, "Any of you nuns know Van Halen?" They're like, "No," and then that one's just sitting there like, "Mm-hmm."
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I love it. It's a simple joke, but it works. All right, then we cut to the Driftwood Dairy in Atlanta, Georgia, where Sean and Gordy meet computer hacker Isaac, played by Chris Owen.
The Shermanator.
The Shermanator, yeah. And he is playing the worst WCW game I have ever seen. Which, oh my god, the art on the outside of that arcade cabinet looks better than the fucking game.
Yeah.
He agrees to help Sean and Gordy find Jimmy. Oh yeah, and then we cut to Isaac's house where Sean is singing "Baby One More Time." Great moment.
And making two fucking wrestling figures ass fuck each other.
I will rule
Yes.
you.
I will rule
Ass fucking
you.
joke.
And then
Then it followed by an STD joke, by the way.
And then Isaac's running joke of like everything that he does, his dad thinks he's a pussy. I can't talk on the phone. My dad says it's for pussies, and it hangs up. All right. Isaac eventually finds out where Jimmy King used to live, apparently, and we cut to Eugenia King, played by Caroline Ray, as a white trash wife. She offers Gordy and Sean to see her crabs, and Gordy wants to take her up on that offer. And then Scumbags and Whores, which that's all I wrote down here. Apparently, I think I was keeping up with the movie at this point. But Scumbags and Whores always like that. Where Sean is just like, okay, scumbags, okay, and who are they? Who's Louise? A whore. She's a whore. He's like, okay, whore. Scumbags and Whores. Okay, yeah, we're doing pretty good here. We also meet Jimmy's son, Frankie, and they talk with him for a moment. We find out that he has a messed up braces. Cut to Jimmy's parents, who are alive and not dead, that's another great moment where even though they're looking at his parents right there,
boy, I ought to kick your ass.
Even though they're looking at his parents right there, Sean is like, yeah, and according to Jimmy's authorized biography, when you died in a plane crash.
He is so fucking stupid.
And fun fact here, Jimmy King's dad is played by David Arquette's real dad, Louis Arquette. Gordy and Sean then track down Jimmy to a mobile home park. And
He came and borrowed our RV last week. That little shit.
I just according to his authorized biography, when you died in a plane crash and he took care of you while you were in a wheelchair, and he's looking right at you.
Man, these characters are dumb.
Okay, you know what? You're really starting to make me mad now.
Well, I'm about to get worse. Jimmy King he wrestled for 14 years for one company. He was the top star, undefeated, how much money do you think he'd be making?
Okay, to defend that though, there's a lot of guys from the 80s though who were making big bucks with WWF and Vince McMahon and shit like that, but then they, blew all their money on one thing or another, and they were broke.
Ric
even though they
Flair
were
never
huge
had to
stars.
stay in a fucking trailer.
Chicky baby.
And Ric Flair wasn't on top for 14 fucking years. And what did this guy buy? He has
First of
absolutely
all,
fucking
beer.
nothing.
Shelby.
Beer, yeah.
Shelby, first of all, it is a movie. Second of
Oh
all,
my
it's
god,
a
but
movie
it's supposed
based
to be a
on
representation.
wrestling.
Exactly. It's
And
supposed to be a
third of all, it
representation
is
of
a
it.
movie based on wrestling made in the year 2000 when they were trying to throw anything at the wall to see what would stick.
Yep, which another
Yeah.
fun fact about this movie, apparently WCW wanted to make this movie to try and get back the fan base that they have already lost.
Wow. Well, they fucked up.
What?
This is not a good representation of wrestling at all.
Oh, you're making me mad. All right.
I knew this was
Cut
coming.
to Sean and Gordy at the motorhome park, and Sean and Gordy try and talk to Jimmy. Talk Jimmy into going after Sinclair and DDP, which that has like one of my favorite fucking moments ever is when they find them in the mobile home and they're like knocking on the window and they're just like it's a chick and they're just like no it's him, and then like when they finally figure out it's him, like David Arquette gives like the fucking best crazy eyes fucking ever, and he's just like we're your biggest fans, and the look he gives is just oh my god, it is oh god, it's so good. I fucking love it. Jimmy eventually lets him into his trailer so they could talk about going after DDP and Sinclair. Gordy and Sean don't understand that wrestling is a work. After Jimmy tries to explain it to him.
When did you realize that wrestling was a work, Will? How old were you?
Let's see. This movie came out in 2000, so about, I don't know, 2005.
Okay, how old were you?
That's actually none of your damn business.
I'm going to say, so these guys are probably, 18, 20? Probably 20?
Oh, they have to be in their mid-20s.
Mid-20s, and they don't realize...
They have their own business and shit like that.
Yeah, true. I didn't consider that. And this is the 2000s, and they don't realize that wrestling's a work.
That's how much they believe. It's still real to them, damn it.
Moving on.
All right. Jimmy ends up fighting with both Sean and Gordy. Jimmy knocks them both out with a crown. And when they awake, Jimmy agrees to go after Titus and DDP. Another good moment of this is when Jimmy is like trying to lay the sad story on Gordy and Sean. He's just like, well, when my mom and dad passed away and my son is in a wheelchair, and they're just like, your son's not in a wheelchair. We met him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, your parents aren't dead anymore either. And then Jimmy's comeback is just like, oh, I am blessed. Praise him. Praise him in all his mercy. Whenever some shit like that happens, like if they're like, Will, you can go home early today. I'm like, oh, praise him in all his mercies. That's what I'm referring to. And no one ever gets it, of course.
Because no one watched that movie.
Exactly, but it's so fucking good.
You watched it more for most people in the US, at least.
Oh, I am blessed. Praise him in all his mercies. Piss off. Praise him in all his mercies. Okay. All right, so we cut to the New York Arena, which no such arena exists. They just couldn't get the rights to say Madison Square Garden. And we find out on this episode of Nitro, there's going to be Sid versus Sting in a hardcore match, and DDP defending the WCW title against the Disco Inferno. I don't know about you guys, but this is a card I want to see. Fuck you both.
Yeah.
All right. Gordy and Sean sneak into the arena with Jimmy in a porta potty. Sean and Gordy get a sneak peek at the Nitro Girls dressing room, which that was a nice moment as a kid.
So here I decided to write boobs, and I put as many circles or O's in it as I could until the scene ended. I don't know how many I got here. It's got to be at least like 25. Anyways,
What
and
are,
then I wrote down
these
boobs.
weird games you're playing while watching this movie?
I needed to keep myself entertained.
The movie should be keeping you entertained.
No, it doesn't.
All right, that is when Sasha meets Gordy, and they kind of, talk for a second. DDP and Sinclair arrive to do a promo backstage. Jimmy attacks DDP, and the WCW ref thinks it's a match. Anybody know who that ref is?
He's an idiot.
No.
Yeah, Billy Silverman, referee Billy Silverman. Thinks it's a match. WCW wrestlers then attack Shawn and Gordy. Bam Bam Bigelow and Van Hammer attack Shawn and Gordy.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn and Gordy then accept a cage match on behalf of Jimmy King to fight Page and $1 million, which that's one thing I wrote down. I'm just like, as much as I love this movie, that's one thing that always threw me off. Like, why did Sinclair just all of a sudden just throw in $1 million?
Yep. They don't explain that.
Yeah, like, you want the belt, then you can have the belt back in a cage match. Okay. And for $1 million. Like, what? Huh? Like, why are you throwing that in too, dude?
Yeah.
I just never understood the $1 million that he decided to put up.
Like, is that a contract, maybe?
Beats me. Shelby?
Nothing. Not even gonna say anything.
Oh, that means you have something. What do you got?
All right. So St. Clair said that he wanted DDP to be his most popular wrestler or something like that. DDP's your heel. The last thing you want is for people to start cheering him. He is clearly the heel in this movie. What else do I have? When the hell the world title get put on the line?
Right
WCW
here.
sold out. That was a novel idea in 2000.
Well, I mean, they were owned by Warner Brothers, and this was a Warner Brothers movie. I mean, why not? Why not use the resources you have?
I guess, yeah. I think there was some other shit, but whatever.
All right. All right. So then Shawn and Gordy want to rejoice with the king in his motor castle. So we cut
I did like Motor
Yes.
Castle. That was a good line.
So we
Motor
cut to a
Castle.
party featuring the WCW face wrestlers, apparently. At least they're keeping that
Mean
kayfabe. The
Gene
face wrestlers
With
don't
the
party with the...
line of the movie.
That's, you know what? I got to give him a mark for that
Do
one.
people think I'm sexy? I think you're
think you're
sexy.
sexy.
Mean.
God damn. No, you are not sexy. Stop it.
But hey, you have to give them that. They're keeping the face wrestlers away from the heel ones.
I'll give it that. I'll give it that.
All right. Sasha approaches Gordy, and they become cordial.
I'm
The
sure
Nitro-
she loves to know that you jack off to her, by the way.
He never really says that, though.
Does he
just said-
not?
No,
But he
just
does
said-
the
No.
poses. That's
Yeah,
why I
he
wrote
does
it down. Yeah. Yeah. And
Mm.
then I wrote, he's really sweet, question mark.
Well, it makes sense later, considering what she does.
Yeah.
Nitro girls dance, and Shawn approves. Jimmy thinks Mean Gene is sexy. Jimmy tries to bail on the guys and falls into a sewer. Gordy
I had no
and
idea what was
Shawn-
going on.
Gordy and Shawn find him the next day and give him a pep talk, including a song.
Oh,
Tell us about the song, Sean.
I put don't sing, and then a bunch of dots, and then a bunch of angry dots. And then, yeah, that was it.
What's the difference between a dot and an angry dot?
Well, I started doing dots as in like, and then as I kept doing it, they got a little bit more violent. And then by the end, I was just stabbing the fucking paper. Anyways,
You didn't like the song?
no, I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Jimmy King is the best wrestler.
The bestler, I think is what they said.
He's the bestler. Better than all the wrestlers.
Oh, God.
This scene is actually a little bit different too in the trailer. When he runs off again, I believe he falls into the sewer again.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. They mentioned that they need to get him trained, so we cut to Sal Bandini,
Sal Bandini, water wrestler.
which Jack Palance was originally Sal Bandini before Martin Landau took over the role. Sal Bandini torturing his trainees in a Stu Hart dungeon style, which that's another fun fact. The whole character of Sal Bandini was based on Stu Hart.
I thought so.
Sal forces Jimmy to tap with a handshake. Sal gets beat up for a second by Jimmy when he kicks him in the face, but gets kicked in the balls for his trouble. And then that's pretty much all there is to that scene.
I love Sal Bandini.
Sal Bandini. Want to wrestle? Okay, here we go. Cut to Gordy, who apparently scored a date with Sasha and brings her bananas instead of flowers.
I thought that was good. Yeah.
It's kind of clever, actually. The flower store closed, so he brought her bananas.
It's like Buenos noches, señorita. Oh, I didn't know you spoke Spanish. Are you fluent? No. I feel fine. God damn it. After chatting, Sasha wants Gordy to show her some moves that he's learned from Sal Bandini. When Gordy misses the hint and snapmares her, they move to the bedroom. Which I will say, let me mark that. I will say that this is one line that I always fucking hated in this movie, was that when, she's obviously giving these cues like, oh yeah, show me some moves. And he snapmares her, and then she's like, take me to the bedroom. And he's like, I hate this fucking line. Oh, bedroom match. I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
I hate that line. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I hate that fucking
Just
line.
cringe. It's fucking cringe, especially
It's funny.
after
It's funny that
the pillow fights and stuff that WWE has had.
Yeah. It's funny that you said that about Brian Robbins, because that's a snapmare spot. I thought this looks exactly like Ed and Roxanne and when she goes in for the kiss and he throws her over and she just fucking is like sitting there knocked out. It's like, oh
my god,
okay?
yeah.
Yeah.
I never made that connection. Oh wow, okay. They moved to the bedroom.
I just made that connection. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Gordy then slaps Sasha for revealing her breasts and believing that they are foreign objects, which that became a running joke in the movie. They bone. They bone. That's all I wrote. Gordy reveals to his dad via postcard what he's doing. His dad shoots the postcard out of anger.
Did he not miss like every fucking shot though?
No, he got some of it, but
Did
like,
he?
Yeah, but you're missing the point, man. He got a postcard, magneted to the fucking fridge, and then shot his fridge 6 times.
Yep. Yep, he did.
Oh my god. Okay. Cut to the gym where Gordy, Sean, and Jimmy, and now Sasha, meet with Goldberg, and they ask him to help in fighting Sinclair. Bill declines due to Jimmy's past of letting him down. You threw up on me. The audience liked it. I was your partner.
Hey, if the audience likes it.
John Cena's in that scene.
I wasn't going to mention that because that's not important.
What?
But yes, John Cena is in the background of Jimmy King flexing and working out. Sinclair then sends Sid and Saturn, like they're two like cartoon cronies.
Goons.
Yeah. To attack Sal.
Sid forgot his scissors though.
Sid forgot his
I noted, of course, it's Sid and Saturn that he says, of course.
But Sal outsmarts them both and then eventually beats up both and gets Saturn to ask, who his boss is. But Sid comes from behind, breaks a chair over Sal's back, and puts him in the hospital.
And then Sid's shown crying.
Yeah, later on, yeah. Cut to the hospital. We find out Sasha dating Gordy is all a ruse to get close to Jimmy, to know what's going on. Gordy overhears it while getting Sal a Butterfinger. Fun fact here: when Sinclair tells Sasha, "How does Head Nitro Girl sound?" There was a different line. There was a line that was supposed to be said, but Rose McGowan refused to say it, and that was like he's supposed to say, "How does Head Nitro Girl sound?" She's supposed to say, "Well, it's better than Nitro Head Girl," but she didn't want to say that, so they cut it. It tells you how much I've seen this movie. Sal gives Jimmy one more lesson while recovering, and they leave before. Oh no, and they leave. Before leaving, Gordy leaves Sasha behind at the hospital. And that's like fucking Sean slaps Jimmy in the chest and was like, "Dude, you broke my Butterfinger, baby." That was another thing that was supposed to be different. It wasn't supposed to be a candy bar. It was actually supposed to be a pack of cigarettes, but they changed it.
Oh.
Yeah. It was supposed to be, "Dude, you crushed my smokes." But they changed it.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
No, I kind of like the Butterfinger. "Dude, you broke my Butterfinger.
It's a minor.
Baby."
It's a very minor thing. But
I know. "You broke my Butterfinger, baby." Yeah. All right, we cut to Gordy, Sean, and Jimmy head back to Lusk, Wyoming. But Jimmy makes a pit stop to see his wife Eugenia and his son first to try and make up with them. But they are unaccepting of his apology, and he then promises to win that match and the $1 million, and promises to get his son a damn good dentist. Which I love how serious that scene
repossess my braces.
I love how serious that scene starts out. Like Eugenia's like, "Well, what are you gonna do about it?" He's like, "Well, I'm gonna win that belt back. I'm gonna win $1 million, and then by God, I'm gonna get that boy a damn good dentist." Oh my God, this movie's fucking classic. All right, then we cut to the gang arriving in Lusk, Wyoming, and right away, Gordy's dad, shows up and takes
just about
Gordy
runs
away.
him over.
I know. I mean, well, shit. He's already pointed a gun at him one time. Why not just run his ass over? You know?
What's full on homicide at this point?
I know.
He probably knows how to get away with it.
He takes Gordy away from Sean and Jimmy to Sean and Jimmy to again force him to become a cop. I couldn't read my own hand right there for a second. To again force him to become a cop. Sean and Jimmy try to rescue Gordy, but Gordy decides it's time for him to be a cop and regretfully leaves Sean and Jimmy.
I like the only thing that the cop dad likes and laughs at is the show Cops. You know he's just sitting there laughing at the bad guys.
He just hears, "Bad boys, what you want?" And he just hears, "Ah."
You know he's like laughing. That's a 1041, idiot.
Oh my God.
He is a great gimmick, I will say that. His gimmick is fucking superb, and he plays it so well.
Yeah,
too.
the dad is great.
Yeah,
even when
he's
he
pretty
turns
good.
later, it's so good. Jimmy is sad. Gordy is giving up on him. All right. Now we cut to Jimmy and Sean looking for members of the King's Posse while Biff Naked's rendition of "We're Not Gonna Take It" plays, which people can say what they want about the song. I've always liked it. And you can
that version's really good.
And if you own a copy of the DVD, check out the music video, which features the likes of Crowbar, Kid Romeo, and a few other under WCW Carters there.
Is this the scene where they're in the ring?
Yes.
It's the WWF from the early 90s with all the gimmicks.
Cut to Jimmy and Sean looking for members of the King Posse, including the guys who made fun of Sean and Gordy earlier, which is like one of the best things ever. I mean, it's so simple, but it works. He's just like, "Well, hell, everybody knows wrestling fake." And he's like, "Bam! That feel fake?" And he sells it like Rock taking a stunner. Then we also have a singing cowboy who thinks it was a tryout for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, where the wheat. Are these the Oklahoma tryouts? And then we finally end up with the King's Posse, who is Fireman Fred, and he's gonna hose you. And then we have the Chewer. At least Fireman Fred, I can get behind that gimmick.
Oh, I can get behind the Chewer.
Really?
Yeah, I can too.
Hell yeah, man.
I was like, I like the Chewer. Here comes some chewing tobacco in your eyes.
Hey, man,
Yeah,
that's a Stan
I
Hansen
like it.
special.
And then finally, Pretty Kitty.
So they just needed more tits.
Apparently. We cut to Sean and Jimmy leaving for Vegas when Sean finally realizes that Wendy is the girl for him before leaving for Vegas, of course, after rejecting Brittany, who Brittany all of a sudden wanted to get her some of Sean there.
I wrote getting my dirty trailer.
Well, where else were they
Yeah,
going to fuck? In
shit,
the middle of
man.
that dirty barn?
That's very fair.
Wendy and Sean, they bone after Sean gets her a shirt from the Hard Rock in New York, which, damn, if that's all it takes, shit. I think, man, she's easy at that point. Like, Gordy does show up to say good luck to Jimmy, and Jimmy thanks him for all of his help.
I noticed in this scene that he always has to get in the back of his dad's car. He can't sit in the front seat.
We cut to the MGM Grand, which I find it weird how they couldn't get the rights to Madison Square Garden.
Madison
Name
Square.
the Madison Square Garden, and they had to call it New York Arena, but they could get MGM Grand.
MGM was owned by Warner Brothers at the time, though.
Oh, was it? See, I never knew that. Okay, that makes sense then. For the Royal Bash pay-per-view event, which this is another minor thing I have with this movie, which Sinclair hates fucking Jimmy King. Why would he brand this whole pay-per-view around him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
Like,
he's
wouldn't you
working
call
the
it, like-
whole movie.
Yeah, wouldn't you call it like the Diamond Mine pay-per-view or some shit? Or
Yeah.
the King Slayer pay-per-view? Or, you know, seems like he's still banking on Jimmy King there.
Yeah.
Sinclair warns Sting to not let Jimmy King wins that title, and we get our F-bomb of this movie and tell Sting that he will kill him if he fucks this up. Sean is dressed to the nines, and they
Like
tell
a
each other,
pimp.
yeah, he's dressed to the nines, and they tell each other that they are ready.
He's got that zoot suit on.
Yep. I don't know why, but I always liked Oliver Platt's delivery of "Hell yeah" when he's asked if he's ready. I don't know why. It's one of those little things I always like. Where, you know, he's just like, you look good, baby. He's like, thank you. And you? And he's like, you ready? He's like, hell yeah. Like, I don't know why. I was always like that. That was always a little delivery I liked. Jimmy's parents all of a sudden attend, I guess. And Sean doesn't hear the cue for the pyro and gets lit on fire as walking to the ring, which I'm sure that would have just took care of itself. Well, I don't know. Undertaker got lit on fire walking to the ring at Elimination Chamber one time. That just took care of itself.
Well, except for the fact that he was burned for the rest of the night and had to be like doused with water for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What a dweeb.
Sinclair tells Jimmy that he will see him in hell as the triple cage match starts, which, okay, this goes for both the movie and WCW because the match did show up in WCW too. While at Slamboree 2000, when they used this match, they did make use of the third cage on top, you know, by putting guitars in it and shit. But for the other time that they used it, like for War Games 2000 and in this movie, the third cage was just there. Like, it's just there. It's just there to be aesthetic.
Yeah, it's pretty small, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're
That's
not,
a
like,
shark
you'd be
cage.
hard-pressed to fit two guys in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of pointless. It should just
I
be
mean,
a double cage.
aesthetically, it looks good and it sounds nice, like triple cage. Like, ooh, you know,
Yeah.
like you hear triple cage and you're like, ooh, that sounds nice. But then when you see that little tiny bitch cage at the top, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it should just be marketed as a double cage match.
Yeah,
Just two
something like
cages.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where am I? Triple cage match. All right, Sean cuffs DDP to the cage after the powder trick doesn't work, which that's one thing I think many people who have reviewed this movie, including us at this very moment are going to talk about is that this movie really blurs the line of like wrestling being a work and it being real.
Yeah.
Like later on, like earlier in the movie, we saw like, oh, okay, what's the finish? And it's like, oh, okay, but like now, these two are really fighting. Like, they're fighting for something. But then like he tries to throw powder in DDP's face. And he's like, this shit doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really pick which one it wants to do. Like, is wrestling a work or is it real? Like, which one does it want to be here?
It kind of felt like after the whole like double cross, everything else was just a shoot, which I didn't really care for the way they did it, but that's what it kind of felt like to me.
Fair enough. Which we get Sean's famous line of "A diamond upside down is a pussy." Ha! Okay. Fuck y'all, that was funny. Okay. Sean just to give Jimmy a chance to grab a ladder and climb, but then Juventud Guerrero and a mysterious masked wrestler appear to stop him. The masked wrestler is Jimmy's son, Frankie, who is, quote, paying back his dad. Did anybody ever see this coming when they first saw it?
I don't know why. I don't know why it happened. I don't get it.
Usually the thing that everybody picks out of this movie is just like, how the fuck did Tony Schiavone hear that it was his son?
I missed that on the commentary.
Oh, escape phone.
Sinclair calls out more people to the ring, all the heels there. Calls why DDP is cuffed. He calls out Sid, Van Hammer, Bam Bam, and Saturn. And Jimmy pulls a Terry Funk, takes them all out with a ladder. But then his son gets the upper hand on him. And finally, the good guys appear. And it's Goldberg, Billy Kidman, Booker T, and of course, the Disco Inferno.
Yeah, gotta get Disco in there.
Get Disco in there. But like the one thing that they showed with the Disco Inferno is him getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
They come to help Jimmy, but as they can't get in because the cage is locked, Gordy on a cop cycle launches himself through the cage, taking out Frankie in the process. Gordy's dad finds out he's on pay-per-view as the rest of the station is watching, and his dad finally sees the light.
I wish he didn't. I liked it better when he just fucking hated it.
You just wanted him to hate everything
I
forever.
wanted him to take out his gun and just shoot the TV. That would have been perfect.
Like that Simpsons gag, like, oh, hell, this ain't no good.
Yeah. The B sharps, yeah.
I liked him as a
Clancy,
heel.
use the remote.
I kind of like when he turned because it's kind of like seeing somebody who doesn't understand something for a while, and then when they finally get it and they get into it, it's kind of like a good moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of liked it because like we'll probably say it here in a second, but like when Arquette spears fucking Frankie and his dad's like, oh, get him, he says harpoon him. That's what he said. He doesn't say spear. He says harpoon him. Which just shows his dad doesn't really get it, but he's trying to get into it. It's like harpoon. Yes. Oh god, I loved it. Okay. Sasha all of a sudden appears in the cage because the Nitro Girls can just come down to the cage whenever they fucking feel like it.
Yeah.
Sasha appears in the cage to try and rekindle their relationship with Gordy. Sean is trying to tell her that there's a swinging ladder nearby, but to no avail as she gets knocked in the face again, a la Good Burger style, which now I get it.
So, what was her motivation to get into the ring and ask him to go out again? Like, she got what she wanted, apparently. I'm guessing that she became the head Nitro
She was
Girl.
so attractive by the law.
Yeah.
Attractive by the law?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Attracted to the law, you mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay.
DDP and Jimmy battle in the second cage and eventually up to the third cage. Sting watches. DDP throws Jimmy down to cage 1 and DDP is about to win, but Sting kicks DDP to cage 1. Sting appears next.
DDP dies.
Not necessarily. But.
Well, that's a long fall.
And Sting appears next to Shawn and Gordy for another great moment where he's just like, Sting tells him that Jimmy King's all right by him. And Shawn tells him, it's okay. You love Jimmy King. I love Jimmy King. We're men. It's okay that we love other men. Sting just punches him for it.
Yeah.
And Gordy being such a mark, he's just like, oh man, me too, my turn. Bam, Sting punches him too. Jimmy and DDP climb their way back up to the third cage. DDP and Jimmy fight on top of the third cage. DDP asks Jimmy what he's fighting for. Jimmy exclaims himself before body slamming DDP through all 3 cages and grabbing the belt to win. Now, to your point,
yes,
like this is where DDP dies.
Yes, I was a little ahead of myself.
The shot of him walking up the ramp, like where he looked back and saw Jimmy winning and shit like that, that shot was put in to show that he was not dead.
Oh, I missed that shot.
Yeah, like when Jimmy's in the ring celebrating and everything, the bad guys are helping DDP to the back, and it has like DDP looking back at the ring like, oh fuck, he won and shit like that. They had to put that shot in there to show that DDP wasn't dead. Yeah.
Jesus.
After the match, everyone is happy. All the side characters are happy. Gordy's dad, which I don't know if anybody ever saw this, but there's a shot with Gordy's dad at the station where they're all celebrating that he won and shit. And one of the guy cops goes to hug Gordy's dad, and his dad is trying to give him a handshake instead.
No.
Oh my God, go back and watch that. It's so good. The cop is trying to hug him, and the dad's just like, no, handshake. And he's like trying to put his hand out for a handshake. It's so good. Plus, we see Wendy at the Easy Takeover Burger freaking out because apparently you can just fucking watch pay-per-views at your job. I never got that lucky. Jimmy's parents in the crowd are happy, but Sinclair, everybody's unhappy with Sinclair all of a sudden, who's standing at ringside, which there is a fan who is yelling at Jimmy at ringside wearing an Insane Clown Posse sweater. Anybody know who that fan is?
No.
Chris Canyon. Chris Canyon. Goldberg offers to be Jimmy King's tag team partner, but Jimmy King is going to tag with Gordy, a.k.a. The Law. Which, you know how many times I watched this movie before I realized he was saying The Law? I always thought Gordy's wrestling name was The Lusk.
What?
Like Lusk, Wyoming, where he's from.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Because Jimmy King has that southern drawl, so saying like, a.k.a. The Lusk. I thought that's what he was saying. But Jimmy decides to tag Gordy instead, and Shawn as their manager. We then cut back to oh no. Okay, I'll mention it after this. We then cut back to the Stop and Shop where Shawn is telling the kids this grand story. Yeah, and they don't believe him. They don't believe that it's going to be a continuing thing. They believe it's only going to be a one-time thing until Goldberg in full ring gear throws the gas station attendant through the window and makes him say that he is Jimmy's bitch and he is his daddy. Can you say it now? I'm your
That's just such a line for Bill. That was so poorly delivered.
Can you say it now? Yeah. I'm your bitch and you're my daddy. Roll right off his tongue. That'll teach you to mess with little kids. The Nitro Girls pull up in a Hummer, which, by the way, the driver of the Hummer, Che, the Nitro Girl, was always my favorite Nitro Girl, just FYI. Also, fun fact, Nitro Girls are ranked the number 3 top faction in WCW history. Fun fact.
Yeah. Moving on.
Nitro Girls pull up in a Hummer to pick up Bill, Shawn, Gordy, and Jimmy, and it rides off with Sal in the back with 2 Nitro Girls to end the movie. There was
one of which being Queen Charmel.
Yep. No, one of them was Queen Charmel. You're right. There was an original ending to this movie. DDP, when on the set, he pitched an ending to the movie that after the match, when Jimmy King wins and Gordy, gets to be a tag team partner, they go backstage and DDP approaches both Gordy and Sean, kind of like stares them down for a minute, like he's gonna fuck them up, and he's just like, "Welcome to the business, boys. Let's go get a beer," and showing that it was all a work.
Oh wow.
That was DDP's pitched original ending, but they declined it. And
That's
such
too
like that.
bad.
Yeah. Also, let me see if there's any of the facts that I missed here. Martin Landau, based on Stu Hart, we got the stunt doubles. Jack Palance replaced Martin Landau replaced Stu Hart. Rey Mysterio injured. Movie made to regain fan base. Louis Arquette's dad. Like I said, Louis Arquette played Jimmy King's dad, who, you know, his son being David Arquette in the movie. Apparently, Louis Arquette was the voice of Jimmy Snuka in the cartoon Rockin' Wrestling.
Wow.
Yeah. Rose McGowan hated making this movie.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
She hates a lot
Sasha.
of things.
Sasha was based on Kimberly Page.
Oh.
Jimmy King is based on a mixture of Ric Flair and Jerry Lawler.
I saw
Yeah,
Jerry
I can
Lawler,
see
but
that.
Oh, gee, where'd you see Jerry Lawler at? I couldn't tell.
not very well. I'll say that.
We got the Wyoming thing, and we talked about the original ending. So there we go. Overall, I think throughout this review, I think it's easy to say that like I fucking love this movie dearly. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. Not favorite comedies, not favorite wrestling movies, and like this is one of my favorite movies of all time. When they released this movie, I actually went and saw it in theaters. The only bad thing is that I went and saw it in theaters, and it was before I knew like the actual plot of the movie. And I had this like I had a WCW wrestler shirt. And like I went and saw the movie and shit, and I was all excited to see the movie and shit. I was like, oh man, yes. And I watched the movie and I see who the villain in the movie is, which is DDP, and I was like, ah shit, because I look at the shirt I'm wearing and I'm wearing a Diamond Dallas Page shirt.
The fact that DDP was the heel in the movie didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like they couldn't have gotten anybody else.
Who else was a bigger star at the time in late '99 when they were developing the movie? Could they have gone to?
For a heel?
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff
He wasn't
Jarrett.
there in late '99 yet.
He wasn't?
He was.
No, he wasn't.
Didn't he
He
leave
left
at like SummerSlam?
WWF in late 99.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
Or mid
I'm
99.
pretty sure it was SummerSlam when he left.
Yeah.
DDP worked fine.
Scott Steiner.
Wasn't he injured?
That I don't know. But I'm just saying, like,
Canyon.
like for
What is your problem with DDP?
I don't have a problem with DDP. He's more of a baby face, especially at that point in his career. Did he even turn heel when he started wrestling?
Yeah,
I guess in like the early 90s.
He started off as a heel, became a face,
Yeah.
and then when he won the world title, he eventually turned heel again and started the Jersey Triad with Canyon and Bigelow.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I've always known him as a face, except for his WWF run, and then when he was a manager and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
you don't tell me shit about what I know. You come in my house, you're gonna eat the food the way I fucking make it.
I'm not in your house.
You know what I mean. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed when I went and saw the movie, and I was wearing a Diamond Dallas Page shirt, and then he was the villain of the movie. I was like, oh man. But many times watching this movie on VHS, many times watching it on DVD, I probably know the commentary. Like, you think I know the movie verbatim? I know the commentary almost verbatim too.
I'd believe it.
Come on.
Here's the opening for the commentary. You ready for this?
Oh boy.
Hi, I'm David Arquette. I played Gordy in the movie, and I'm the former WCW heavyweight champion of the world. I'm Scott. He plays Sean. I have like 2 scenes in the movie. I'm Ahmed Zappa. Get ready to live. That's the opening lines from the commentary.
Wow.
So many times I've seen this fucking movie.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this movie's fucking great. It's phenomenal. I love it. I can never get tired of this movie. Until...
Fair enough.
So, Shelby, considering some of your critiques of some of the scenes in this movie, what are your overall thoughts of the movie?
I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Yeah, I did. It makes wrestling fans look fucking stupid. It makes wrestling fans look stupid. It makes wrestling look stupid. It makes like wrestlers look like they're nothing but fucking homeless guys who, if they lost their job tomorrow, they'd have nowhere else to go and no money to make, which is fucking far from the truth, especially back then. If Jimmy the King, or whatever the fuck his name was that over, then as soon as WCW got rid of him, WWF would have been calling him up and fucking signing him to a multi-year deal for lots and lots of money. Especially at this point. They had lots of money at that
Okay, but
point.
like, you know, we'll probably do this episode later, but the wrestler, the dude was living in his van.
That was different. That dude had already had his career and it had broken down, and he was at a point where he couldn't go any longer. That was totally different. This guy was on top still.
I think hating it is
Also the fucking dick jokes, the fart jokes, the fucking poop jokes, the vagina
there
jokes, the
were no
transvestite.
fart jokes.
There was in the van with the fucking.
Oh yeah, the farty nuns. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, you got me there.
Yep. Hated it.
Oh, by the way, we're looking for a new co-host.
For what? For what this movie is, it's a solid hour and a half of entertainment. However, don't go into it thinking you're gonna get a masterpiece,
Like
because it's by no means a masterpiece, but it is an entertaining hour and 40 minutes of your time.
Like, yeah, okay, so like you hated it overall. Can you at least say that some of it was entertaining at all?
Well, yeah, I like the cop. He was funny.
That's it?
Nah, there was probably like a scene or two that I laughed at. There was a joke at the
okay, so let me give you a better diagram here. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best.
Oh God, 3 1/4.
What?
Yeah.
You're out of your fucking head.
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right, so that was us talking about the cinematic classic Ready to Rumble. Hopefully you guys learned some new facts there and everything. I tend to throw in everything that I could think of that hopefully I remembered, and then some. So now we are going to move on to our wrestling fact of the week, which apparently has something to do with Saudi Arabia. So Nick,
okay.
Fact.
So when I say it has something to do with Saudi Arabia, you know who Mansoor is, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Mansoor had quite a first-time meeting in Saudi Arabia. So Mansoor, having previously worked one of the Saudi Arabia pay-per-views, the way they had laid out the arena for return pay-per-view was similar to the last time. The bathrooms were in one spot, so on and so forth. So Mansoor, thinking everything was the same, went to the men's room to drop a steamer, if you will. And after finishing his massive shit, he opens the stall door to find Shane McMahon, who was in his personal bathroom. Shane McMahon in said personal bathroom and was like, "Oh, who are you?" And Mansoor's like, "Oh, I'm Mansoor. I'm from here in Saudi Arabia. I'm working the show. Nice to meet you." And he says, I'm Shane McMahon. Please get out of my personal bathroom." And that's how Mansoor was introduced to.
Please get out of my personal bathroom.
Who are you? Oh, I'm Mansoor. I live here. Oh, who are you? I'm Shane McMahon. Get the fuck out. That's what I am.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, and before we move on to our questions, because we don't have a sports list of the week, because we knew that Ready to Rumble would take up some time there, we got to talk about another one of our sponsors here, and that is the great people over at hardtofindtv.com and their sister site fanmadedvd.com, which, much like our other sponsor, moviesarusa.net, they also offer at least thousands of hard-to-find TV shows that you can get put on DVD and or Blu-ray, and you can also get captions on them, closed captions in just about any language possible, for for a good, reasonable price. I mean, if you're looking for what's a good show here? If you're looking for the old John Cho sitcom that only lasted, I think, about 13 episodes, Selfie on ABC, you can get that on DVD, and you can also get it with captions as well. So if you need to watch Selfie with John Cho, but you need those captions in Canadian, they can do that for you. So instead of saying about, when they say about, the captions will read a boot and everything. They'll do it for you. Now, it will take a little bit more time to get your product, but with great quality, such as hardtofindtv.com and fanmadedvd.com, it's worth every bit of time. Now, if you go on over to hardtofindtv.com, you can only use Amazon Pay, which is great if you have Amazon Pay and only want to use Amazon Pay. But if you would like to use your credit card as another form of payment, you can head on over to fanmadedvd.com and buy the same products. Buy the same great products as hardtofindtv.com. And on top of all that, if you head on over there and you want to get yourself, Clueless, the TV show, the complete series with Farsi subtitles on Blu-ray, you can do that. And if that price just isn't fair enough for you, let them know Artist from the Three-Way Dance Center and use checkout code ARTIST, ARTIST, at checkout, and you'll save 15% on your entire purchase. So head on over there, check out all they have to offer and more. And plus, they also take requests. So if you look through all the thousands of TV shows that they have and there's just nothing there that you want, hey, message them. They may have it. And if for some reason they don't have it, what I like to say is if they don't have it, you don't need it. All right. So let's get into our questions here, which only come from old Stug and Andrew this week. So we'll rotate them here. So the first one comes from Stug138, and that is, what are all y'all SummerSlam predictions?
Oh. We pull up a list and go match by match. Is that what we're gonna do?
The only match that's been announced has been the women's triple threat match.
Oh, okay.
Charlotte's winning that.
Honestly, you know what? I don't like it, but I'm gonna say Nikki Ash.
Me too.
Yeah.
In terms of what's rumored but unannounced, like Lashley versus Goldberg and Reigns versus Cena, Lashley and Reigns. Like,
there's really no question on those two.
No, I'm picking Oldberg.
For Big E to then cash in.
I don't know. I'm just picking Oldberg.
Okay. All right.
The next one comes from Andrew, and that is, if you have to step into the ring tomorrow, are you wearing classic wrestling boots, wrestling shoes, or wrestling shoes with kick guards?
I mean, tomorrow I wouldn't have the right equipment. So, I mean, I'd probably just be wearing sneakers. But if I had a choice, then it'd be classic wrestling boots for sure.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go
the ones. It would be the ones with the kick guards, just to protect myself a little bit.
There you go. All right. And the question Shelby's been looking forward to the most. Stug138 asks, what are your top 4 WWE dream matches for SummerSlam?
Fuck. I actually had 3, but I can't come up with a 4th. That was the shittiest thing.
Bobby Lashley defending the WWE title against the Velveteen Dream. Roman Reigns defending the Universal title against the Velveteen Dream. Apollo Crews defending the Intercontinental title against the Velveteen Dream. And just to switch it up a bit, Damian Priest defending the United States title against the Velveteen Dream.
So I kind of kept with the same idea of like one guy had to work with WWE and one guy necessarily didn't. But I have Bobby Lashley defending the WWE Championship against Brock Lesnar.
God damn it. Why? Why do you want to see that so bad?
Because that'll be a fucking phenomenal big man match.
Oh.
Also, Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Walter.
Yeah.
And the only other one I had was Tommaso Ciampa versus CM Punk.
Brock Lesnar versus Dave Bautista.
That's a good one.
Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio, and damn, fuck it. Even though we'll see it, and we're gonna see it, Edge versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah. All right, the next one comes from Andrew, and that is, do you guys have any wrestling VHS, DVDs, or Blu-rays? If yes, any favorites?
I think we kind of talked about this before, but I'll say the Benoit doc. I have the Royal Rumble anthology from 1988 to 2007, I think, when it was brought out.
And you have all of them?
Yeah. It wasn't fucking cheap either. It was like $500.
What? You paid $500 for that?
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, let me get that from you, but if you paid $500, never mind.
No, there's no way I'd be giving it up. I wouldn't sell it for anything. WrestleMania I have from 11 to 22, I think. So yeah.
I've got WrestleManias 1 through 12 on VHS. I've got, well, actually, in that I have 2 copies of WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, you got the championship at the series, right?
Yeah, I think something like that. I have DVDs. I still have Born to Controversy. I still have Bret Hart, The Best There Is, The Best There Was, and The Best There Ever Will Be. I've got WrestleMania 1921, King of the Ring 2001. I've got a couple random compilation discs that were put out by third parties. I've got 3 WWE DVD board games, including the Power 25 one, and Tombstone, or not Tombstone, Undertaker's Deadliest Matches, whatever that one's called.
I just recently got Tombstone a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah. I have a lot, way too many to list, but if I had to pick any favorites, of course, Jake Roberts, Pick Your Poison, Rise and Fall, ECW. Those 2 for sure. Blu-rays, the only like wrestling Blu-ray I have, I think, is WrestleMania 27. What was the first time The Rock went up against? What was the first time The Rock went up against the Cena?
28.
I have 28.
27. He just hosted.
Okay, then I have 28 on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I saw 27 in the movie theater.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Stug138 asks, have any of you been watching the Olympics? If so, what's your favorite Olympic sport?
Nope, and could give a fuck.
I'm gonna say about the same.
No, I haven't been watching, but my favorite Olympic sport is women's curling.
Okay.
Only because it's something so simple, but because like I tuned in one night and apparently I missed the fucking explanation of how this game is played. But there's a woman who stares intently that I'm pretty sure if a bird flew in front of her, it would burst into fucking flames. And then she throws a large rock while a bunch of people sweep in front of her by screaming. So it's
hurry hard.
So, and of course, female gymnastics, I think, is always a good one.
Well, I mean, I won't argue. Women's beach volleyball.
Yeah. What title in the? Oh, this is from Andrew, by the way. What title in the history of WWF/E do you think had better defense matches than the World Heavyweight Belt?
The Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, that was exactly what I said too.
That was the Workhorse belt. Easy.
Yeah.
24/7.
R-Truth
All right, then.
is a legend. I will say that.
Yeah.
Hey, Reggie's killing it right
Reggie.
now.
Reggie, I love Reggie too. I will say that. I do love me some Reggie.
I'm gonna do that one last because that one's gonna take us some time. If you could go back, this is also from Andrew. If you could go back and change the finish of a historic match and angle, and by default change the course of a major championship storyline or era, what would you change and why?
All right. I'm gonna give 2 answers here. Well, technically 3, but I think it'd be incredible if you changed the result to John Cena versus RVD.
Yes.
Or John Cena versus CM Punk.
Yes.
I think if you
Brilliant.
changed either of those two, it would be
Brilliant.
fucking
Deep down
God.
inside, I've always wondered what would have happened if
Yeah.
fucking John Cena retained that night.
Yeah, would
That
there
is
have been a riot?
Brilliant.
Either of those nights, but I think the RVD one would have been a little bit closer to a riot just because of the crowd that was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the second one you said?
Punk
John Cena versus CM Punk.
Oh yeah, RVD and Cena for sure.
But my more legit answer that I think you'll also agree with is going to be Booker T versus Triple H at WrestleMania 19.
Oh, I'm 100%.
Yeah, that
120%.
the way that fucking
was
rivalry was built, like it should have went the other way.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what would have happened had Brock beat Goldberg at WrestleMania 20.
I'm gonna steal Shelby's answer. I like RVD versus Cena at One Night Stand 2006.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Shelby's answers, so I really can't top that otherwise.
Like deep down inside, I've always wondered that. I've always wondered, like,
Wow.
every time I watch that match and see Cena walk out with the belt holding high and him wearing the black jorts and shit, like he's edgy and shit like that, and they're just booing the fuck out of him. I've always wondered. I'm just like, what if
Is the
WWE
Hammerstein Ballroom gonna burn down?
Yeah, I'm just like, what if WWE just threw the ultimate curveball this night and just said, "Fuck it, Cena retains."
Yeah.
You know, like that would have been fucking genius.
Oh, John Cena might have actually died.
Stug138 asks, who could realistically take the title off of Lashley this year?
Unfortunately, Big E.
Why do you say unfortunately?
Because I don't like ass shaking, twerking, dumbass Big E. I'm tired of it.
Well, up until Money in the Bank, I would have probably fought Kofi Kingston, but Money in the Bank killed that shit.
He said realistically, there is nobody on the Raw roster right now that could realistically beat Bobby Lashley.
Drew McIntyre?
No, he can't realistically. He's already lost to Lashley like 3 fucking times. Realistically, he cannot fucking beat Lashley. So, what if instead, the night after fucking Lashley beats Goldberg at SummerSlam, while he's out doing a promo, all of a sudden you hear the fucking Walter music, and he comes down to the ring and he fucking tells Lashley that it's Survivor Series. He's gonna say like in X amount of weeks or whatever, I'm coming for what you got, and then he just smacks the absolute shit out of fucking Bobby Lashley and walks away. And then you don't see him for a couple fucking weeks, but you do see like Bobby Lashley talking about it. You see like Walter in NXT UK and all that kind of. I think Walter would be incredible to take the belt off Lashley, and it could get the UK belt off of him too. You could get your wish.
Well, I see Dragunov taking the UK belt from Walter. I'm not sure I see Walter beating Lashley. I just am not. I'm not sure the mainstream WWE audience is familiar enough with Walter for that to work enough for the independent
That's
marks.
how you make him.
Or the marks for the independents be satisfied with the outcome.
That is how you make him the champion that you need. Nobody comes up and just slaps him. Nobody comes up and just slaps Lashley. And there's nobody on that roster that is his size that can do what he can do. Sorry.
But in that scenario, you make Walter the face. Do you really think Walter could be a face?
You can make him the heel. You can still keep him be the heel.
I don't like dominant almighty Bobby Lashley as a face. I really don't.
You don't.
Not
You don't
after
need
the
to.
way he destroyed Kofi.
You don't need to turn Lashley face. You do heel versus heel. This could
No.
work. With Walter, it could work.
You need somebody to root for in that fight.
People root for
Yeah.
Walter. It doesn't matter.
No, but
he doesn't have
but
to be
it's
face.
not
Oh my God.
fair. It does not work for Walter then to in that scenario. It does not work. He would not ultimately be over in the end. Because I think more people would be pissed that Lashley lost rather than that Walter won. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work for me.
Well, it works for me, but anyways.
All right. And Stug asked, best and worst hotels you ever stayed at. And I messaged him. I was just like, you're running out of ideas here, huh? And he was just like, nope. Apparently he's taking a vacation at the end of August, and he wanted to know our hotel experiences. So.
Good for him. Good for him.
None at anywhere where you are.
What's that?
I don't stay at chain places. I don't stay at chain places, so I really can't answer this.
Okay.
I stayed at I think it was a travel lodge when I went to see Nick actually for the first time. And
oh yeah.
I mean, meeting Nick was great, but let's face it, I mean, he was pretty beat up. He wasn't exactly gonna party through the fucking night. So
yeah,
I think I went to like a bar and got a beer and a burger or something like that at like fucking 10 o'clock. And then I went back to my room. I was back in my room by like 11:30, and it was a shitty room too. And I didn't really put two and two together, but earlier in the day there was like a fucking massive coach bus with like a bunch of people in fucking not suits, but what's the other term I'm looking for?
businessmen.
No, like clothes, tuxedos. Tuxedos and a bunch of girls in dresses and stuff. There was a wedding going on, and everybody that was at that wedding was staying at the fucking motel. So I go to bed at 12 o'clock at night, and 1 o'clock in the morning I wake up and there's a party going on across from my fucking room, and I'm just tired and all I want to do is sleep. That was probably one of the worst ones. Yeah, I wasn't feeling it, man. I wasn't feeling it that day.
Wow.
Just needed to go to bed.
Gross. You should have just let me know. You could just come and slept in the hospital.
Oh, it's all good.
Actually, no, that would have been awful. That would have been horrendous.
It probably would have been worse, to be honest with you. It's not like I would have gotten a hospital bed to sleep in.
No, you would have got the windowsill or a chair.
Yeah, pretty much.
Those chairs were not nice.
No, they were not.
No.
Probably the best hotel. The best hotel I ever stayed in was a place in Houston called the Houstonian, and it was like, God, it was like the fucking 5-star hotel. So I mean, this is the kind of place that like when they give you room service, they don't give you ketchup packets. They give you like a little tiny glass jar for ketchup.
Mm.
You know, had like 3 pools on the premise and shit like that, and that's probably the best. The worst, let's see, what was that hotel I got stabbed at? No, I'm kidding. But the worst one, oh no, I stayed at this casino hotel called Isla Capri. Oh God, that was terrible. Because they had like two locations. They had like one that was like actually in the casino, plus they had a building that was like outside of the casino. And like basically it was kind of like if you were by the casino, you were first class. If you're like in that building, you were coach. Because like we called and we're like, hey, is there room service? And they're like, yeah, there's room service. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. We'd like to order. They're like, are you staying at the building outside? And we're like, yeah. They're like, oh, that's only for the people over here. Sit your coach ass down. And we're like, oh, okay, all right.
Oh, are you kidding? That's bullshit.
Yeah. So like all the perks only got like sat over there. It was ridiculous. And I was just like, I fucking hate this casino.
That's stupid. Yeah, that's really stupid.
All right. And the last question here is going to make us think for a minute here. I've actually been trying to write them down as I've been talking here. But Andrew asked, you get to assemble your own 10-man battle royal. taking each entry from any era, any fed, territory, and in their prime. Who is your ultimate over-the-top battle royal?
All right, so I wrote mine down.
I've already got mine.
Oh,
shit.
wow. All right,
Yeah.
you two go first then, because I'm still trying to figure mine out.
All right, so mine it's anything goes. The 10 are as follows. We have New Jack, Bob Holly, Crash Holly, Mick Foley, Terry Funk, Nick Gage, Sandman, Eddie Kingston, John Moxley, and Sabu.
All right, you lost me with a couple of those, but okay.
Didn't expect you to go that route. Do you have a winner?
What? Winner in that one, honestly, eventually it just gets to a point where there's so much blood loss, they just kind of
just die.
all collapse.
Pretty much.
And there's no real winner decided until like Mick Foley raises a finger, and they just go with Mick because he's the one showing life.
Fair enough. Mine would be Owen Hart, Yokozuna, Kofi Kingston, Jeff Hardy, Arn Anderson, Chris Jericho, Randy Savage, Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, and the winner of the match, Andre the Giant, the Battle Royal King.
Yeah, the Battle Royal King who never won a Royal Rumble, the 3 he was in.
He wins like all his Battle Royals though.
The only one that I saw him win in WWE was WrestleMania 2.
He won in, I think it might have been in WCCW though. He won like a body slam rumble type thing.
Body slam rumble.
Yeah, there was like it was like 14, might have been 10, I can't remember. But the challenge was to body slam guys, and when you got body slammed, you were eliminated. So he won that one. Yeah, I think there was another big man in it too, but I can't remember who the fuck it was. It's if you have the WWE Network. Actually, you know what? I will talk about that one later.
I don't know. I just need one more name.
David Arquette.
There we go. Thank you.
I'm surprised you didn't already have that down.
I know. Yeah, I'm surprised too. All right, my stand is very unconventional because I'm a very unconventional guy. That is David Arquette, Jeff Hardy, Rico, Diamond Dallas Page, Crowbar, Shark Boy, Dino Bravo, the Velveteen Dream, Jake the Snake Roberts, and the winner after a very close battle with Jake the Snake Roberts is motherfucking Max Moon, man.
And here's 10-year-old Willie. Yeah, holy fucking Max Moon.
Max Moon, motherfucker, yeah. Man, from another
Sister
place,
just
look at him
hands you
fly
a
up
roll.
the stairs.
His
That
sister
man can
just
fly
hands you a plate of
upstairs and he's
pizza
just
rolls.
jumping up the stairs and shit.
Sister just gives you a plate of pizza rolls and tells you to shut the fuck up.
I'm like, look at him fly up the fucking stairs, and he's just hopping up them and shit because that's what he did. The motherfucker can fly. Look at him. Oh shit. Okay.
Well,
All
I'm
right.
the only one that kept a theme.
Do what?
I love how I'm the only one that kept a theme of the 10 wrestlers, not even just, I'll go all over the place. Let's take 10 hardcore guys or hardcore-ish guys, and you guys just take everyone.
I had a theme. I had a what the fuck theme.
Oh, I see.
Except for Jake. Jake is probably like, Jake and DDP are like the only two normal guys in that match. Maybe Dino Bravo.
Yeah, maybe Dino Brown. Well, Jeff, I don't know, never mind.
Jeff Hardy. Well, yeah. All right, so that was it for the questions this week. Now it is time for our vintage pick of the week, where we tell you guys a match or a show, a segment, a promo. It could be anything that we want you to go check out. So, Nick, hit us with your vintage pick of the week.
Kenzo Suzuki, Battle Raps, John Cena.
Okay.
Kenzo.
Kenzo Suzuki, formerly known as Hiroshima, or Hiroshima, or no.
Yeah.
They had to change his name. I know.
It was Hiroshima, Nagasaki, I think, or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Shelby, vintage pick of the week.
I'm gonna go with the battle royal that I was just talking about. Body slam battle royal.
Oh, I was like, your battle royal doesn't exist.
It was on the Andre the Giant documentary that they did a couple months ago. I believe it was from WCCW. Andre the Giant won. It's just great. It's great fucking battle royal.
And given the theme of this episode, I think it's only appropriate that I suggest that people go watch David Arquette and Diamond Dallas Page versus Jeff Jarrett and Eric Bischoff for the WCW title. That is the night that Arquette became the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Good, I remember that happened. I think that happened either the day before, the day it was April 25th, 2000, I believe. Something like that.
That's
either
the day Ready to Rumble came out.
No, because Ready to Rumble came out in July.
Okay, yeah. That's right.
Bitch, you don't tell me shit about what I know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better be sorry. But yeah, I remember watching that on TV. Like, oh my god, I really hope David Arquette wins, because before Ready to Rumble, I knew him from Scream, and I liked him in Scream. So I was like, oh man, I hope David Arquette wins this. That'd be kind of funny. And then he won.
Yep.
Not knowing that, we'd still be talking about it 20 years later.
Yeah.
We still talk about Hitler too.
Okay, David Arquette is not Hitler.
Poor comparison there.
No. David Arquette is far from Hitler. David Arquette is a god amongst men. I once saw David Arquette play a fucking PS4 with a Nintendo controller. Okay?
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No,
you weren't there.
No, obviously, because nobody was.
You weren't either.
Yes, I was. I saw it. The Grim Reaper has a tattoo that says, "Don't fear David Arquette."
All right.
Yes, and in my dreams, you blow me kisses too.
David Arquette doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the world down.
That's Chuck Norris, by the way.
When was the last time he had actual relevant Hollywood work?
Shut your mouth. That's when.
I rest my case.
I know. He was just in that movie, Godzilla vs. Kong.
What?
Yeah, he was in Godzilla vs. Kong. He won.
Okay. Yeah, no.
You're just disparaging Godzilla now. Now I'm getting angry.
That was my Godzilla impression.
I quit watching Dancing with the Stars because David Arquette got eliminated.
I believe
I was pissed. I was like, if he doesn't win, then I quit watching the show. And he didn't win. I haven't watched since.
Wow.
Yeah,
probably should have quit long before that.
Under David Arquette's hair, there is not a skull. There is 2 more feet to fucking dance.
All right, so next week.
Oh my god. Oh, come on, that was good. Come on. Oh my god, that was so good. What do y'all have against David Arquette? What did he do to you?
What?
He made 8-legged freaks.
That's one I've never watched.
It's awful. Don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because I have it. I just haven't watched it. I just bought C Spot Run the other day with David Arquette.
It's good.
I love C Spot Run. Oh. Shelby, what's your deal with David Arquette? How come you don't like him? No. You just ridiculed his whole movie here.
Because
and you don't have a reason why. He didn't suck. Have you seen his recent? Have you seen his recent wrestling?
He works a lot of fucking death matches with Nick Gage.
He
the
worked
bank
one.
rub jobber.
He worked one death match against him, and he'll never do it again because he almost died.
Yeah, because Nick Gage is a fucking retard. And then
you cannot kill David Arquette because, like I said, you know.
And then I saw some match he had in NWA that like he just sat in a chair for the first 5 minutes, which was weird. I was like, okay.
Oh, I think I know what match you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like a tag team match.
Yeah, because like, he was teaming with RJ City, wasn't he?
No, he teamed with Tim Storm.
Oh, okay.
Tim Storm versus, I can't remember, the dude who he was facing recently died, but it was like an intergender match. I'm like, what the fuck? This is the NWA and this is an intergender match? That's weird.
Oh, because like he usually does that weird shit with RJ City.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, David Arquette, good guy. Oh yeah, that's something. I mean, pretty much everybody knows this, but you know, the money that he made from WCW, he donated to Pillman and Owen Hart's family.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah, because as fun fact, you know, he didn't want to be the champion.
Yeah,
he didn't want to do it. He loved wrestling, he loved the business, and when they said you're going to be the champion, he was like, I don't want to do it. But that's the role they hired him for, in the words of Jim Ross. Like, that's the role you were given. So he was like, all right, I'll do it. So all the money he made from his WCW run, he then donated to Pillman's family and Hart's family. People will go on record and say it was only Pillman's family or Hart's family, but it was actually split between both.
That's good.
Yeah, because he didn't want to keep the money for himself and shit like that. You know, see, people get on Arquette for a lot of shit in WCW, but people don't look at the good things either. And such like
well, I mean, the whole WCW championship stuff it's like, it's not Arquette, it's fucking Russo. Like, let's face it.
Yeah. And Shivani.
Shivani was part of that too.
Shivani, when Arquette was brought in, they told Shivani, like, hey, Arquette's going to be here tonight. And Shivani said, like, passingly, like, oh, what are you going to do? Put the world title on him? Ha, ha, ha. And then that's where they got the idea from.
Fuck.
Yep.
You know? Like, he just meant that, like, oh, God, how are you bringing him in? What are you going to do? Put the world title on him? Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
And then that's when Russo and Bischoff were like, aha. That'll get people talking.
I thought that was just a Russo thing. I didn't think Bischoff was involved in that.
No. Tony was the one that brought it up initially, and Vince and Bischoff thought that was just the fucking greatest idea.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could have been worse. I mean, could have been Eric Bischoff as world champion.
Could have been Carl
I don't
Malone.
know. Yep, or Dennis Rodman.
Oh, well, Dennis Rodman is world champion shit, man. We'd still be, oh, God, come on. That'd been great.
No.
Under Dennis Rodman's colorful head, there's not a skull. There's another arm to dunk with.
Are we wrapping this thing up?
There's the bell, so we know what that means. That signifies the end of the three-way dance here. So for those of you listening, check out our sponsors in the description down below, and be sure to leave some questions for the next episode of the three-way dance with me, Nick, and Shelby here. I don't know why I almost said a different name. My brain almost said Alex for some reason. I don't know why. So leave some questions down below for us here, and we will catch you guys in the next episode of the Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast. I am the ArtistVersion1, and for Nick and Shelby, be breezy.